America One is proud to bring you the Canadian Football League. The Canadian Football League is brought to you by Cowboys and Indians Magazine, the premier magazine of the West. And by RET 2000, for the coolest car in town. Welcome in, everyone, to the Canadian Football League Game of the Week, brought to you exclusively by us, America One. We're glad you're here. All of our partners are with us as well. And a special welcome in today to the Fox Sports World Group, as well as the Sunshine Network in Florida, who are carrying today's Game of the Week. Today's Game of the Week is the Ottawa Renegades at the Calgary Stampeders. Now, the Stampeders are your defending Grey Cup champions, but they are struggling. Well, our exclusive correspondent in Canada this week and every week is Ted Michaels. Ted, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Brady, how are you? Let's get set for this afternoon.
I'm looking forward to it. Looking for Calgary to get on a bit of a roll. Let's talk about, first of all, Ted, the true influx of players now that have been either cut or released by the NFL that are heading into the CFL. And specifically, I think there are 4 or 5 guys now that Calgary have claimed that really should give them a lift. Who are they?
Well, let's start off, first of all, with a guy who tried out with the Houston Texans and was down to the last cuts before they released him. His name is Ben Sankey, quarterback from Wake Forest. Now, he came into Calgary last year. He claimed the number 1 spot and then got injured early in the season. His number 1 spot was then taken by quarterback Marcus Crandall, who took them to the Grey Cup. Crandall has struggled this year. Wally Buono, the head coach, has said he is not doing the job. If Crandall fails today, watch Ben Sankey come in and pick up the offense. That's number 1. Number 2 is a guy who played with the Stampeders last year and tried to take a shot down in the NFL and then got released by the Giants. His name is Antonio Warren. He will spell Kelvin Anderson at running back, but look for him to add a whole lot to the Stampeder kick return team. There's a few other guys. Defensive back Anthony Marlborough came to Calgary last week. He was a late cut from the Cleveland Browns camp. And then there's a couple of other players that may or may not play, quarterback Peyton Williams and also defensive lineman Reggie Hargrove. So the Stampeders are making the changes as they make their run for a postseason berth.
2 things. I also hear that James Cotton, who is a standout defensive lineman for them, may come back. And one more thought. Chris Miller is the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator in Houston, and we know how good he is with quarterbacks. Rumor is Sankey looks better than ever.
Well, you know, the only issue with Ben Sankey is will he be able to pick up the offense that the Stampeders have in a relatively short period of time. But we've also heard that he had a really impressive camp. As far as James Cotton, he's still dithering a little bit, wanting to know after he got released from Buffalo Bills, does he want to come back and come back with the Stampeders, or does he want to maybe give the NFL one more shot? So we'll see. We're all really interested to see how Ben Sankey plays against Ottawa today.
All right, let's talk to our friends at home who maybe knew about the CFL game. Let's do some rules reminding for them. We may be able to run a little video with this. Let's check on, I know there's no fair catch with those of us at home who've watched NFL and college and saying, no fair catch? That sounds crazy. Yep. And then also the motion rule. Take us through no fair catch and then the motion rule.
Well, the no fair catch is on a punt, you have to give the punt returner 5 yards. So if the ball bounces around on the ground or he's waiting to catch the ball, you have to give him 5 yards before you get a chance to smack the punt returner. But lately, there's been a few players that have been taking exception. What they've been doing is saying to heck with the 5-yard rule. They're smacking the guy that's catching the ball on the punt return, taking a 15-yard penalty. They figured that they want to send a little bit of a message on that. We'll see if that happens today. A lot of league officials aren't too impressed with that. And the other one is the motion. You'll see guys running in motion all over the field, and this is a very slot back friendly league, so you'll see a lot of slot backs time their motion, and they'll hit the line of scrimmage just as the ball is snapped, which means if you're a defensive back, if you don't jam the slot back and the slot back gets off the jam, he's going to be wide open with a whole lot of real estate. So watch and see how the receivers go in motion, and indeed, if the defensive backs can jam them on the line of scrimmage.
All right, Ted, that's good stuff. We'll talk more with you at halftime, see how this game's going.
Looking forward to it.
So now it's game time. Let's join our CBC partners, Chris and Chris, for the call. Enjoy the Renegades and the Stampeders.
Never give up even when times are tough. It's a great day for football here in southern Alberta. Temperature 16 degrees, a forecast high of 25, a slight wind out of the south, and sunny all afternoon. As Ottawa and Calgary meet for the first time this year, we're ready for the kickoff. And once again, Chris and Chris.
Joe Paopao, undaunted by last week's heartbreaking loss to Toronto. He felt it was the best his team had played in quite some time. Wally Buono can't say the same about back-to-back losses against the Edmonton Eskimos. He said yesterday, we need to stop talking and start playing. A little extra edge in his voice yesterday preparing for this game.
And I like it. He says, I'm glad the players look like they're having fun, but hey, football isn't fun unless you're winning.
There's the newcomer, or the returning Antonio Warren, and he will get a chance to make an immediate impact. Lawrence Tynes with a booming kick into the end zone, and Warren is going to concede a single point. Joe Paopao told us before the game he's so impressed with Tynes' leg, we might see a 60-yard field goal attempt in this game.
Well, remember Tynes last week talking to him, he was hoping the offense wouldn't score. He said, let me do the scoring. He's that confident, and as you say, tremendously strong leg.
Well, let's see what Marcus Crandall can do to respond after last week's loss against Edmonton when he passed for only 166 yards. Mark Norup is the injured Rough Rider as he pulled up lame on that kickoff by Tynes that has staked Ottawa to a quick 1-point lead. We'll set the Calgary offense for you.
Well, you can see Crandall, Reginbald, Calvin Anderson having a great year at running back. Oren Johnson inside, Blair, Kamal Peterson looking for a breakout game at wide receiver. And a big offensive line. Crysdale, McNeil, Singh, Pilon, and Childress taking a little heat right now, but looking to turn the tide.
Wally Buono felt that was going to be one of the strengths of his team coming in. And Mark Nora stays down. So some early running back concerns for Joe Paopao, who will also unveil a newcomer to that backfield today. We'll see diminutive Archie Turner, the former Toronto Argonaut. He'll be a kick returner for Ottawa today, and also will line up as a running back in the backfield as Nora makes his way gingerly to the Renegade bench. When we talk about the newcomers, back comes Warren, back comes Sankey, players that were part of that championship team. You wonder if that will provide a psychological lift today for these Stampeders. First play from scrimmage is a short drop and a catch by Rob Johnson, who was shut out last week as the helmet knocked right off his head as Vernon Mitchell makes the tackle.
Well, Vernon Mitchell's not going to make any mistake. He wraps up and he puts it as he drives Rob Johnson to the ground and removes his helmet. Take a look at that defensive line from Ottawa. Wayne, Moulton, Derek Ford back in the lineup. Cromartie at the end. Wiltshire, Troy Asbell taking the place of David Thomas, and of course Carter Vaughn, Roundtree, Mitchell, and Ricky Bell, the ex-Stampeder.
2nd and 7, the blitz by Wiltshire, ball up for grabs, and tipped and falls incomplete. Kelly Wiltshire was coming hard on the blitz for Ottawa.
Well, I think that's one of the things you have to do, and you have to get after the quarterback. You don't want anybody to get comfort. You can see him just coming from the top of your screen. Just comes over there, forces the ball, a little throw, but nice coverage. You see Gerald Vaughn right in there. Triple coverage, a lot of receivers in one group right there. Nice job deflecting the football.
Vaughn, a former Calgary Stampeder. Duncan O'Mahony in to punt the football away. And Archie Turner is back to receive. And the Renegades high on Turner as their new kick specialist. Let's see what he can do. Turner, who spent some time in the Toronto camp, driven back inside his 20, but a positive return, and he's finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Reginbald made first contact, but he's still got 15 on the return, and Aldi Henry finishes off Archie Turner. So here comes Chuck Clements, who was made his CFL debut last week and got mixed reviews. He was distraught, devastated after the game because of those 4 interceptions.
Well, you know, they're pretty happy with the way he played last week. For the first time he's, being a starter in 3 years. He wasn't. He's very much a perfectionist, takes it much to heart. Actually met with Joe Paopao after the game to explain the fact that he was not feeling well about the way he performed and wanted. He just assured him, I will play better.
First down at the 35. And the the give is to Ronick, and he pounds straight ahead to the 45, close to a first down. Ronick, who had 133 all-purpose yards last week against Toronto.
Claude Clements, Nora, Ronick at the running back, who just made that nice run right there. I mean, really moving that football. Williams and Johnson, the two big slot backs. Reggie Jones, a new wide receiver, and Jimmy Oliver with that big game last week. Dittmet, St. Germain, Coulter, Abu Mekrek, Chris Burns running out a good offensive line.
Ronick gets the first down. Darren Joseph was in the backfield for Nora, and here's Ronick. Big hole left side. Greg Frers, the safety, has to push him out at the Calgary 38 as Ottawa establishes an early ground attack.
And one of the things that Coach Powell said, he said, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but looking back at that game last week against Toronto, we should have run the ball more. And this is why. Great seal job of allowing him to get to the outside. He gets around there, and of course, this guy, a little bowling ball that he is, does the rest and takes it up and deep into Calgary territory.
28 yards, the longest run for Ronick this season. Joseph lined up as the fullback. He went in motion. 1st and 10. Clements with some time, looking deep. No one home for the Renegades. And that ball falls incomplete. He was looking for the newcomer, Reggie Jones.
Well, a little play action after you run the ball successfully a couple of times. Defensive line of the Stampeders are going to try to get to Clements. Young, Rogers, Bradley, and Steve Anderson at the defensive end. The linebackers led by A.J. Alondra Johnson, Otis Floyd, Willie Fells at the Sam linebacker position. Freres the safety, Barnes and Bray the halfback, Fields and Austin back in the lineup at the quarterback.
You know, Chris, it's hard to believe, but the defending Grey Cup champions on defense are last in the CFL in yards allowed this year. 2nd and 10. Clements looking near side and off the hand of Jimmy Oliver.
One of the things that Chuck Clements did last week is he took these safe routes. He took the little underneath patterns, found some success. It looks early on today, Chris, that he's trying to go a little deeper with his patterns and trying to stretch that Calgary defense. Just a little overthrown of the intended receiver, Jimmy Oliver.
Yes, he felt he was too conservative in his debut last week.
Well, he looked at the film and he noticed a couple times that the slot backs, whether it be Johnson or Williams, wide open down the seam or the center of the football field, he never had an opportunity to get the ball to him.
Here's Lawrence Tynes to attempt a 45-yarder. Tynes hit 2 last week, and he is 3 for 3 as the CFL kicker. And the Renegades, impressive early scoring drive.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you. And if you call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt with your video. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of One.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
Pet Meds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-888-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online.
Back at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, and an update from the Ottawa sick bay. Mark Nora sprained his left ankle on the opening kickoff. He told me he never gets his ankles taped for game action. Now he must, because the ankle is sore and sprained, and so they'll tape that ankle up, and he says he'll be back.
Well, on the leg of Lawrence Tynes, the Ottawa Renegades have established an early 4-0 lead. Marcus Crandall sends 4 receivers to the right side, and now Kelvin Anderson with a carry across the 40, close to 6 for Anderson, and that puts him over 8,000 yards in a distinguished Canadian Football League career.
Well, wonderful job. He's always there. He's been the one bright spot on this Calgary offense. Kelvin Anderson is always here, ready to play. And again, busted up the middle behind that right side. Singh, Pilon, and Clydesdale, and picks up good first down yardage.
Look at how consistent those numbers are. 6 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. And he starts the day 61 yards back of Troy Davis in the running race. He has never won a CFL rushing title. Came into this game 4th, has a first down here, and could establish the lead in the league.
Well, even looking at that stat, I mean, when you think about who he's tied with for a consecutive 1,000-yard rushing season, I mean, George Reed. So when you get a chance to pass somebody of that caliber, boy, I tell you what, you're really doing something special.
When asked about Antonio Warren coming in and maybe sharing the running duties, he said, you have to pace yourself when you're the only guy for 60 minutes. He may be running harder knowing that Warren can spell him today. And there was Antonio Warren, and Donovan Carter, the fine safety of the Renegades, with the tackle.
Well, one of the things that happens if you can run the football a lot, they cheat up the linebackers and the safety. The safety comes through. Just going to come from the bottom of your screen. It's going to come right there untouched. One more man than the offensive line can possibly pick up. He comes free, makes the play in the backfield.
So it's a loss of 2 for Warren on his first carry. And 2nd and 12 for the Stampeders. 3 receivers either side, the 6-pack for Calgary, and they dump it off underneath, and Kamau Peterson is blasted by John Amazing Grace, and he certainly has been amazing in his Renegade year.
He's been phenomenal on that defense. I tell you what, I mean, he leads the team in interceptions and tackles, fumble recoveries, but Derek Ford is going to apply the pressure. He's going to be working against Fred Childress. So he gets underneath them, get underneath, because they say if you can jack the head, where the head goes, the body will follow. Puts a little pressure on him, but all Ottawa did on that play, they only rushed 3, dropped 9.
So that forces 3rd down. Archie Turner back. High snap. And O'Mani angles the kick out of bounds. Turner won't get a chance to play it, and they'll mark it near the 13-yard line. Well, a big hit by the Renegade defense as Grace unloads on Peterson.
Are you losing your hair?
La Liga, Spain's internationally renowned soccer league, comes to you exclusively on Fox Sports World. La Liga features a collection of elite soccer greats such as Zidane, Ronaldo, Riquelme, Roberto Carlos, Figo, and Raúl. Real Madrid and FC Barcelona are only 2 of the many great teams that play here on Fox Sports World, the home of world-class soccer. A way of expressing, a way of interpreting, a way of life. The Scottish Premier League is on display as 12 teams render their souls while defending their pride to become the new king in the league that defines champion spirit. The Scottish Premier League on Fox Sports World, your home of world-class soccer. With self-confidence. Out of nowhere! And the keeper beaten to the far post. And courage.
The crossbar in. Another moment of brilliance. Mike Ahmed cannot believe it.
You will come out victorious.
The Galaxy have won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup!
Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Fox Sports World, the home of world-class soccer.
Let me say a little something.
Joe Paopao says the best part of John Grace's game is that he is always around the football, and he makes some noise when he gets there.
Well, let's just listen to this one.
That'll tighten the chin strap of Kamau Peterson. And now at the 13, Renegades go to work. 4 receivers to the right side, but they can't stop the run. And Josh Roddick is on a tear in this first quarter across the 30-yard line. That's his third first down run of this opening quarter play.
Well, what good running backs, and Ronick is one of them right now, does. He does a great job of cutting back. He goes to the left, it's not there, he cuts it back, and he beats Steve Anderson. Now, we know Steve Anderson is not 100% healthy, and you take a look at how he beat Steve Anderson coming inside. Steve really made no attempt to try and tackle him on that play, and you wonder if the knee is maybe giving him a little bit more problem than he let on.
He already has 47 yards on the ground and a first down, a little breathing room for the Renegades on offense. This time play action. Clements on the roll, and he'll take off down the sidelines and steps out across the 50. Chris, we talked to him before the game, and we said, you know, it looked like you had room to run last week and elected not to. And he said, yeah, the film showed that, and I'm going to try it a little more.
Well, I think the biggest thing, we talked about this earlier, was his first game in 3 years. He's so happy to have that first game out of the way. All that, you know, the spider webs, everything, all the nervousness. Now it's just about playing football. He says, I've got that out. The novelty's over now.
There's Doug Nussmeier, who broke down those films with Chuck Clements, who said, as a run-and-shoot quarterback, it was always throw first, run second, but on this big field, he may run more. First down, quick hitter, Oliver, trying to sidestep William Fields, who will have none of it, and limits the gain near midfield.
Well, nice job of getting the decision done quickly and get ready to the football. Takes a step, Oliver down on the bottom, just going to do a little out. 5-yard out, get the ball, and then try and beat the defender. Willie Fields in his play, can't do it. Nice job of tackling AJ to come over, wrap him up, but a nice job of sprinting that defense out side to side.
5 yards on the catch by Oliver, 2nd and 5 for Chuck Clements and the Renegades. Rush on, and he throws it away. No one really close for Ottawa as they were bearing down on Clements, both Antoine Young and Steve Anderson.
Well, the reason they're bearing down on him, Chris, it's a chop block. The whole idea of this play, as you watch the O-line, they're going to cut. See how they go down and try and cut the defenders? That's to get their hands down. But again, the pass has got to be gone. You can't hang on to the football when you're employing that kind of pass protection. As a result, the defenders get off the blocks. Now it becomes a race, and you got 2 guys there ready to meet. Chuck Clements, and unceremoniously throw him down to the ground.
Glenn Harper into the game, celebrated his 40th birthday on Thursday. And here's Warren, set for his first punt return, a flag down. Ball angled into the corner, and Warren from his 5. And Antonio Warren up close to the 18-yard line, a 50-yard punt by Glenn Harper, and will sort out the flag. Jake Ireland in charge of proceedings today. Offside against Calgary. It was 3rd and 5, so we may measure here to see if the Stamps have given Ottawa.
And you know how they do on the field goals, they do the shift? That's exactly what they did on the punt team. The outside guy goes down in a 3-point stance, snaps down.
Offside, Calgary number 85, repeat 3rd down.
85, Brian Nugent, the rookie out of York.
Just moves down, you can see gets down. Nugent jumps the ball, but on the other side, they had a guy go down a 3-point stance. When they see that, your synapses are cooking already. Your reaction, they just jump.
Your what's cooking?
Synapses. It's another word, one a week.
Now, it looked like Nugent might have been lined up offside. You saw Otis Floyd try and pull him back, and there it is. They're less than a yard short of the first down. And Joe Paopao is going to send the offense back on the field.
Well, they'll bring in the big boys, Delaparel, and the big man, the number 1 draft choice, number 66, Gauthier from Laval, 6'7", 330 pounds. These 2 big guys playing tight end. It's a lot of beef on the outside of that offensive line.
They're really excited about the future of Gauthier. They don't want to force anything too quick. He's a development guy who was the number 1 college pick for the Renegades. And here we go, 3rd and less than a yard. The handoff inside, and I don't think they got it. Mark Nora back in. Not much spring in his step, and it was shut down. Melvin Bradley slammed the door shut. shot.
Well, nice job of getting underneath the offensive line. You know, we talk about the O-line, but they get underneath him, and look at this, sheds him. Now he goes to the hole. There you see Bradley, number 74, gets inside of his block on the right side, makes the play. Now here comes the crucial measurement. It all comes down to where they spotted the football.
That close, but the Stampeders hold. After a bad offside call that gave Ottawa a chance, the defense redeems itself.
Well, nice job of the interior of that line, just coming off the block. You can see him right there. He's just going to come through right there. The blocker has to protect inside out on short yardage. You don't want to come inside you, especially when you're running it up that zero hole or right behind the center.
You know, prior to the start of the game, Chuck Clemens said to me, boy, their front four is pretty impressive. He liked what he saw in film, and they proved that to be the case. Kelvin Anderson took quite a shot in the back as that Renegade defense charged up too.
Well, we've seen Mitchell with the big opening hit on Johnson. We've seen John Grace, and now here we go. Not to be on down, 39, Gerald Vaughn, the big veteran coming through. And I mean, look at the gang tackling. That's what you like, a swarming defense. One of the things about Ottawa, great defensive team speed.
Gerald Vaughn had some good years here in Calgary. Second down, 6. Crandall looking, and look out! Oh, Gerald Vaughn, the guy who has led this league in interceptions, drops one he should have caught.
Well, I don't think he should even attempted to throw this ball out to the flats on the left side, because, I mean, you got Grace over there, you got Gerald Vaughn, you got double coverage on one receiver. That's a situation where you're trying to force. They're bringing Wiltshire on the blitz. He's going to come around. He gets picked up. Nice job. But look at this. He throws it, and look at the coverage there. You got two guys. I know he wants to go to Travis Moore, but you got to make sure number 83 is open before you try and give him the football.
And the fans already turning the heat up on Marcus Crandall. 10 minutes into the game, and the Calgary offense not moving the football. O'Mani in to kick to Archie Turner. Turner from his 9. He's lightning quick, but taken down by Willie Fells, who leads the Stampeders in special team tackles as he brings it back to the 15.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
Pet Meds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-888-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online.
Attention, people without dental insurance. Now you too can save money whenever you visit the dentist with the People's Dental Plan. This discount plan saves you from 20 to 50% or more on virtually all dental procedures, guaranteed. You'll save on cleanings, root canals, braces, fillings, x-rays, crowns, dentures, and so much more at almost 20,000 locations nationwide. There are no claim forms. Just show your card for on-the-spot savings whenever you go to the dentist. This affordable plan costs less than $10 a month and covers your whole family, so it could more than pay for itself your very first visit. But as a special offer, call now and pay just $4.95 for the first month, a savings of $5 off the regular price. There are no limits on use or on how much you can save. So save from 20 to 50% or more on virtually all dental procedures, guaranteed. Get the People's Dental Plan today.
Call 1-800-203-8282 for free information on the People's Dental Plan. Call now.
He don't have to come all the way over because that's taking me out. When they take me out, we have no linebackers.
Alfonso Roundtree conferring with Kevis Reed on the sidelines. They want to make sure all the signals are straight.
Well, special teams are a big part of this football game. And boy, I tell you what, you see Gerald Vaughn on the right of that. I mean, he's got the record for blocked punts. I mean, that's a guy you always got to account for.
Ottawa starts at their own 15. Here's Ronick again. Gain of 4. Alondra Johnson with the tackle. The middle linebacker as we join Mark Lee.
It's Chris on the Calgary sideline with Kelly Malvo, sidelined this week after learning that he's suffering from diabetes. Kelly, can you tell us what was wrong? What did you feel? What symptoms led you to believe or at least seek medical assistance?
Well, I just noticed over the last couple of weeks I have been losing quite a bit of weight, and I have been overly thirsty. And I went in and talked to Coach Patty, and he just told me that I needed to go get a blood test, some blood work done, and I came back to my sugar levels was high. And then I got admitted to the hospital that following day.
Your teammate Chris Hoople is a diabetic and playing with that condition. How are you able to go on now? When will you come back?
I'm not sure. The doctor just told me once I get everything under control and learn how to manage it to the best of my ability, that's when I'll be able to come back. So maybe next week, maybe the week thereafter. I'm not quite sure.
Well, get well soon. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks a lot.
Chris?
Kelly Malvo with 3 of Calgary's 6 interceptions on the season, and Chuck Clements and the Renegades just dodge a bullet as that fumble was, for Ottawa, fortunately recovered.
Well, nice job of pressure. I mean, Antoine Young, the newcomer to the defensive line, who they feel is really going to be a star in this league, gets around the corner, gets a hand on Clements, and very fortunate for Chuck Clements to get that ball back.
It's live. Nobody
so Glenn
knew.
Harper stands in his end zone to punt the ball away.
Let him go.
Aldi Henry on the rush. And this is Kelvin Anderson across midfield. Donnie Blair on the return, and there is a flag down as well.
There's a flag down.
43-yard punt, 8-yard return.
Well, you see him talking to Jason Carlton. I mean, that's usually a sign that it's against the returning team.
Calgary number 29, first down.
William Fields, the culprit. So that will move it back into Calgary territory.
You know, and you think about penalties, sometimes you think, well, that's not a crucial penalty, but any penalty is, especially when you start losing field position. And had they not taken that penalty, they would have started off on their own 50-yard line, which is, you know, good position to start a drive.
Neither team has been able to get their aerial attack in gear so far this afternoon. Marcus Crandall back to work, and the shovel pass inside, and Anderson up to the 41-yard line. John Grace was bearing down on the quarterback. Troy Asbell, the new middle linebacker, with the tackle.
Nice job of getting off the blockers. I mean, you know your middle linebackers, they have to get somebody on him. But you see Grace at the bottom, number 7. He's going to come up. Now he forces. He's got to take the quarterback. They shovel a pass to the inside. 90's working on him right there, but the middle linebacker, Troy Asbell, nice job of filling the hole after a 5-yard gain.
The goggled middle linebacker limits the gain to 5. Flag down. There is a catch to Travis Moore. Wrapped up and tossed down by Gerald Vaughn. It would be a first down, but we'll wait for the penalty.
And Calgary
and the Stampeders penalized again.
Well, that's some mental discipline.
Calgary number 83, repeat second down.
And it was Travis Moore.
Well, probably one of the reasons he got it. You can see, right, you know, he's just going to go. Now, there he is. He's just going to jump the line right there. He's got a good jump of 5 yards.
So it's 2nd and 10. Ball back to the Calgary 41. Six receivers in this package. Crandall has Johnson, and a catch into Ottawa territory, and a first down. So Rob Johnson, who was shut right down by the Eskimos, back in Marcus Crandall's offensive scheme.
Well, he hasn't done much in the past 3 games, with only 3 catches. They're expecting more. They think he's a big-time, big-play receiver. Nice job of working and getting to the inside of Alfonso Roundtree, finding the opening, and the ball delivered right on the money.
17 yards, but a case like Nigel Williams of Ottawa last week, where sometimes you're open and the quarterback's just not reading your side or seeing you in the formation.
It always helps when you start distributing that football and getting all your receivers involved in a football game.
They stay with the 6-pack, and Crandall pulls it down and takes off, and he'll have another first down At the Ottawa 40-yard line, John Grace again on the tackle.
Well, Marcus Crandall, who leads all quarterbacks in rushing with 396 yards coming into the football game, does a smart decision right here. Looks down, doesn't force the situation. Tuck the ball, pick it up. It's all positive yardage at this point.
So 12 on that run by Crandall. We talked a lot about that Labor Day, how Wally Buono has encouraged his quarterback to use his legs, not stretch drives with his running ability. Anderson inside. There was no room there. Wiltshire, Grace, the linebackers there to fill the holes once again.
Well, the linebackers are playing so tight to the line of scrimmage behind the defensive line that they just simply outnumber the blocking offensive lineman and fullback of the Calgary Stampeders, making it really difficult for Anderson to find a hole.
So no gain on the play for Anderson. 2nd and 10. And we are seeing a lot of this Calgary six-pack. Looks like Calgary offside again. A ball incomplete in the flat for Anderson. Again, it looked like the receivers on the left side might have been astride over the line before the ball was snapped.
Well, there's just no excuse for this, and as you say, exactly, Chris, a receiver, top, jumping the gun. You got to be all on the same page, especially when you're starting to put something together offensively. Stop killing yourself.
Offside, Calgary number 83. Decline, 3rd down.
Once again, Travis Moore. Penalty decline, and that was the final play of the first quarter. It was a good one for Josh Roddick and the Renegades, who have a 4-0 lead.
You know, you may not be able to afford to drive a Porsche Boxster, but you can still drive the coolest car in town with this stuff right here, RET 2000. The technology in this can has the ability to make your air conditioner unit in your car cool it so it feels, so nice and crisp inside. Pick up the phone and call and order a can now. Here's how.
To order your RET 2000, call 1-888-625-9931. Call today or visit us on the web at coolestcar.com.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
Pet Meds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-888-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online.
Giving thought to a 48-yard field goal attempt last week on a greasy field in Edmonton. He fell a couple of times in warm-up, and Wally Buono had a bad feeling about how things were going to go for his kicker. He went 1 for 4 in that game, so the 15-year veteran trying to bounce back, and he'll also try to match his longest of the year. But before we do that, let's take a look at the numbers in the first quarter.
Well, I'll tell you what, entertaining first quarter, 4-3 first downs. Yards passing only 5 by the Renegades, but the big rushing advantage. They're running the ball a lot more, and that's one of the things that Papa said he wanted to do. Time of possession pretty even. 1 turnover by the Ottawa Renegades.
Tynes with a kickoff single and a field goal, and now McLaughlin trying to provide Calgary with its first points of the afternoon.
And go!
And he misses to the right, and that will skip through for a single. So McLaughlin's frustrations continue.
Well, you mentioned 1 for 4 last week on a greasy football field. The week prior, he missed one as well, a crucial one. He's 2 for 6 last 2 weeks, but you know what? The kickers are streaky. When they find their groove, as we all know that Mark McLaughlin can. Previously, he was 11 of 12, Chris, so he can do the job.
2 for his last 7. He'll confer with Duncan O'Mahony. 4-1 Renegade lead. They'll take the football at the Ottawa 41.
It's funny, you talk about Duncan O'Mahony. Of course, he does some work as kicking the field goals. And he asked him what he might do, and he says, when Mark asked me to.
When Mark gives him the word. They say that probably will not happen this year. Ottawa to work. They swing it out. There's Roddick, who drops the ball. And it's fielded by Frères, who steps out. Calgary football on the turnover as Josh Roddick pops it up.
Made the catch and then
You are watching the Canadian Football League. Brought to you by America One.
On the first rush after the Stampeders forced the turnover. Calgary second last in the league in takeaways on the year. Josh Roddick kicking himself for his third fumble of the season.
Well, just going to slide him out into the flat right there. Chuck Clements puts him in the ball. He gets down, he tucks it, but nice job. Bray gets in there and with the right hand punches the football out. And Deshaun Austin with the key recovery.
Roddick had problems earlier in the year and said it was so uncharacteristic. He went through a college career where fumbles weren't a problem at all. Here's Antonio Warren, gaping hole, and he's got breakaway speed down to the 15-yard line. And that's what the Stampeders were hoping for with the return of Antonio Warren.
Well, Antonio Warren gives you something that Calvin Anderson does. Calvin Anderson's going to run at you straight north-south. I mean, Antonio Warren's just going to make you miss. Does a nice job of cutting it back, getting around, getting outside, and then it becomes a foot race. And a nice job of Donnie Ruiz to finally bring him down, but not until he picks up great yardage.
A 42-yard romp by Warren, who played well in New York Giant camp, scored a touchdown. Crandall under pressure, down he goes. Donovan Carter, the safety, finishing off Marcus Crandall.
Keaton Cromartie just coming around the corner. I mean, you got to give your quarterback time. We talked about the offensive line be one of the keys. McNeil's trying to get out there. Now he sees John Grace, number 7, coming on the blitz. He goes, but he passes up. Number 56, Keaton Cromartie, the defensive end. Always block inside out. Make the last guy be the free guy. Doesn't on that play. As a result, a sack occurs.
Second and 18. Rush on again, dumped off, Travis Moore. Being tackled at the 12.
Well, you can tell that Ottawa's not going to sit back here. They're going to come after Crandall every single play. And they do a nice job again of disguising it, but this time they bring Kelly Wiltshire on the blitz. From the short side, he's going to come right into your screen right there, forcing him to get rid of the ball. Nice job of getting the ball to Travis Moore, but they're going to give him that because he knows he needs to pick up a huge hunk of real estate to get a first down. It forces third down, and once again, we see Mark McLaughlin with what should be a chip shot.
A chip shot to tie the game and to get him back on track. From 19 yards out. And it is through. So the Roddick fumble cost the Renegades 3, and this game is tied.
Opportunity the Golden Arches, any little break.
It's Aussie Rules time. All the action and reaction.
We went from ordinary to worse.
What a kick! Awesome goals and great grabs.
Oh, what a fire!
Only the best will do. So get up and cheer. Aussie Rules Highlight Show on Fox Sports World. Get your game.
I don't know what's worse, Calgary! Your crappy rodeo or your crappy football team? Ha! Stampeders my butt! Well, here's a news flash for you. You're not real Cowboys!
rivalry lives on.
Loser! Good hit. The players are being assembled.
They'll battle it out. In return, who's the chosen one from down under?
And the Australian Rugby League.
Rugby League on Fox Sports World. Get your game.
A day here in Calgary. The linebacker agreeing yesterday to be the first to have his head shaved for charity. Now, there are 12 professional stylists in the stadium today giving out free haircuts to anybody who wants to give a donation to CAVE. It's a youth drop-in center operated by the Alberta Youth Outreach Foundation, and so you can get a full head shave like AJ, a trim, or just a haircut, and a donation will be made on behalf of you and all the other fans here in Calgary to this center, which has been terrifically growing in the last few years in Calgary for kids aged 13 to 18, the kids who are at risk of getting involved in drugs and other criminal activities, Chris.
Yeah, nice gesture by AJ. Wouldn't be a big sacrifice for the two guys in the booth because the hairlines are not what they used to be.
He says it makes him feel quicker and he gets more oxygen to the brain.
Malcolm Johnson with a catch and a first down for the Renegades. They're up at their 50-yard line. Clements dumping it off underneath, and there is Josh Ronick hanging on. He's stopped by Alondra Johnson, but not before he gets to the Calgary 50, and another first down. Well, the diminutive running back has certainly made an impression, even though he's been told throughout his career he's too small.
Going into high school, I was too small to play running back. Coming out of high school, I was too small to play college football running back. Coming out of college, too small to play in the NFL. You know, whatever. I've heard it all my life, but you know, that's just more fuel to the fire for me. People telling me that I can't do something, I'll prove you wrong.
Well, he really has been outstanding since replacing the injured Darren Davis. In fact, if you combine his totals with that of Davis at the running back spot, it's just about equal to that of Kelvin Anderson.
I love what he said before the game. He said, if I had a nickel for every time someone told me I was too small to play this football game, I'd be a millionaire right now.
Val St. Germain, the injured Renegade offensive lineman, and David DeLaparelle getting set to come in to replace the veteran St. Germain.
Well, St. Germain getting banged up as you see him right there. He's just basically going to go, and he's leading the way on the little screen right there. And actually, Ronick, who was a wrestler, and every time he feels like he's going to get hit, his peripheral vision on this time, he doesn't even know it's his own teammate, drops his shoulder pads to accept the hit, actually catches his own teammate, St. Germain, in the leg and side of the knee, and as we see St. Germain kind of gingerly walk off, you know, this is a big, tough guy, this guy right here. He'll be back. You can't keep these hoggies out of the game.
Renegades on the move. Val St. Germain, the left guard, and again DeLaparelle takes his spot. First and 10 as Ottawa marching into the Calgary into the field. Again, Ronick flagged down. Steve Anderson with the first contact on the Ottawa running back.
3 yards. Steve Anderson made contact, 92.
Well, a little shifting. They bring DeLaparelle in, and he actually goes to the tackle position because of his size. He's more suited to the outside, as we see an offside against Calgary. He goes to the outside, and they shift Chris Burns.
Offside. Calgary number 98. Repeat first down.
So Antoine Young jumped early. And it will be 1st and 5. I asked Wally Bono if anybody on defense really played well in the back-to-back losses against Edmonton, and he said Antoine Young graded out very well despite the general poor performance of his team.
Well, they say he's got excellent speed. He really gets off the ball quickly, and it's going to be a real thorn for quarterbacks in games to come.
There's the little shovel pass inside, and Ronick drops the ball again, and Calgary's on it again. Finally picked up by Willie Fells, and Ronick, who was plagued earlier in this season with that trouble, has greasy hands again today.
Well, we talked about turnover is hurting you, and this is another case of that happening to the Ottawa Renegades.
Something. I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do. I set up networks, I troubleshoot, I basically do things I would have never dreamed I'd been able to do before.
If you've never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you.
I'd never really thought of the Army as a choice.
Your free video will also give you an idea of what Army life is like, how you can earn money for college, even what questions to ask your recruiter.
I'm going to walk away with a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and something that's going to change me for the rest of my life.
Call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, and you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of one.
If you would ask me a year ago if I'd be here doing this, I could have never imagined it. I love what I do. I love doing it for the Army.
Every season has a story. Every game, a new chapter. A powerful and compelling story is on the rise as the world's greatest league gives it their all. To get to the top of the chart, watch the story unfold. The Barclaycard English Premier League this Sunday on Fox Sports World.
William Fields knocked the ball loose. Josh Brunick has copped it up twice in his first half.
You got to hold on to the football, but the biggest thing is you know they're going to try and go after that football. Now take a look. Now you're going to see right there as he runs there. Look at William Fields' hands. 29. He rips the football. That's what they're taught to do as defenders. One guy, if you can make the tackle, get the other hand in there and go after the football. They've done it twice now.
Brunick also fumbled the ball twice in a loss against the Montreal Alouettes in late August, which the score turned out to be lopsided, but the game was very close, and the fumbles were very costly.
Well, remember where you fumble. You're fumbling in the opposition's territory where you have potential to take points, especially as you talked about the strength of at least their field goal kicker, Lawrence Tynes. That negates everything.
Kelvin Anderson had 4, and it's 2nd and 6 for the Stamps. Randall looks wide side, and he has Ibton Kara up at the 50-yard line. The Canadian slot back with his first catch of the afternoon.
Well, his first catch since July 25th. I mean, he's happy to be part of this receiving corps again. He thought he was a forgotten man. Nice job of just getting one-on-one coverage. Goes out there, gets some separation from John Grace, who makes the tackle. And even on that tackle, you can see John Grace with the right hand trying to punch the football. They're really being coached up defensively, the Ottawa Renegades are, to go after that football.
15 yards on the catch by the former Ottawa GG. First down. And here's Anderson inside, breaking loose. Nothing but daylight to Kelvin Anderson down at the 20. So they've ripped off 2 big ground gains on the day, and that one goes for 40.
Well, you know what happens, Chris, when you're going to run the football like this and you're going to play your linebackers tight. Once he gets to the line of scrimmage, look, there's all your linebackers. They're all up here right now. There's nobody back there. The next guy to get him is the guy that actually makes the tackle, Gerald Vaughn. That's the gamble you play by having your linebackers that tight to the line of scrimmage.
Anderson's longest run of the year. So they've had a 48-yarder and a 40-yarder on the ground in this first half. First down at the 20. The fake to Warren. Crandall looking downfield, and the ball skipped in front of Rob Johnson.
Rob Johnson, who's getting covered by Donnie Ruiz, does a nice job of trying to come back to the football. Marcus Crandall, I mean, a lot of people think this is underthrown, but he throws it where only Rob Johnson can actually catch the football. Nice play-action pass. You see Antonio Warren going in there, throws it off his back foot, but he does a nice job. It's just a little short of the receiver, and I got to think that Rob Johnson, if he could come back one more step to that football, come back to your quarterback, you're going to make that catch.
Second and 10 for Calgary at the Ottawa 20. 4 receivers to the wide side. Over the middle, looking for Kamau Peterson. Incomplete.
He had to get rid of that football in a hurry. They're bringing everybody. Wilchar, Grace, and Donovan Carter to safety. They're on a full blitz. You can't pick them all up. It's a big play. It's a gamble by the defense. This time it pays. You see, they're all coming through the middle right here. Nice job. He's got to get rid of the football. Receiver kind of got little crocodile arms there. I think he could have caught the football there, Chris.
Yeah, it looked on that replay as if Rob Johnson was actually the underneath man, the intended receiver, and not Peterson a little further downfield.
Yeah, but they teach you to be receiver. If the ball's in your area, catch it. Don't worry about who it might be intended for. And that play looks like he almost pulled his hands back down, thinking that the ball was going to go behind him.
From 27 yards out, off the post. That's a dead football. No points. So Mark McLaughlin's trials and tribulations continue here. And the Calgary fans showing their frustration.
Hey, Bernice and Joy, tell everyone which power wheelchair got you to the Grand Canyon.
Now I'm free to see the world.
With a Hover-Round, you truly are free to see the world. Hover-Round's award-winning compact round design makes it the most maneuverable power chair in the world. And because it's portable enough to easily fit in a car trunk and powerful enough to pull a 2-ton van, Hover-Round gives you the freedom to go almost anywhere, even the Grand Canyon. Find out if a Hover-Round is right for you. Call one of our friendly mobility specialists for a free evaluation and free Hover-Round video. Hover-Round's licensed nurses will work with you to determine if you qualify for Medicare, VA, or other insurance. With Medicare and a supplement, owning a Hover-Round could cost you little or no money out of pocket. So call now. Declare your freedom to see the world in a Hover-Round.
You know, you may not be able to afford to drive a Porsche Boxster, but you can still drive the coolest car in town with this stuff right here, RET 2000. The technology in this can has the ability to make your air conditioner unit in your car cool it so it feels, so nice and crisp inside. Pick up the phone and call and order a can now. Here's how.
To order your RET 2000, call 1-888-625-9931. Call today or visit us on the web at coolestcar.com.
So the defense does the job again for Ottawa. Calgary comes away empty.
Well, I tell you what, they come away empty, but you got to make these catches. They bring the blitz. Now, look at this. Now, he's wide open. There he is right there. That's the intended receiver. There's the football. He's got to catch that. He pulls his hands down. You catch that football, you keep the drive going, you have a possibility of scoring a touchdown. Got to make those plays, Chris.
Ball spotted on the 25, dead after it hit the upright. And the game remains tied at 4. Play action. Clements looking downfield, and the first time we call Reggie Jones's name today, the speedster out of Louisiana State. And the ball falls incomplete. Gerald Vaughn almost blocked this field goal.
Well, he comes from the left side or the right side of your TV screen and does a nice job of getting the hands up. We talked about him earlier, special teams. He's a demon when it comes to blocking punts and field goals.
11 career blocks. And Mark McLaughlin is trying to struggle out of a slump here in midseason. Second and 10. Clements with time, and that should have been picked. William Fields off his fingertips. And again, this Calgary Stampeders secondary has not been able to catch the ball this season.
Well, another drop pass, and this is the biggest thing that's plagued this offense all year. They've had a running game, but you've got to come up with the catch when it's thrown to you. But, I mean, you don't have a chance to catch the football when you're throwing it to double coverage right there. I think the guy that had the best chance of catching it was William Fields. We talked about this being one of the defensive keys for Calgary. They've only got 6 interceptions. They've got to start catching the ball when they get an opportunity. As Calgary secondary had a chance there with William Fields.
Of the players in the lineup for Calgary defensively, they have not had an interception since August 1st. Kelly Malvo's out. He has 3. And as a team this year, only 6. And it looks like a time count violation before Glenn Harper could punt that ball away.
Well, you know, Wally was saying that's just this thing that's so frustrating. You see the opportunities they're getting.
Time count violation. Ottawa number 18. Still third down.
Well, Glenn Harper with the time count, but you see the opportunities your defense have to give your offense back the ball in great field position, and they just don't capitalize. The balls go off the hands, and it's almost like you start, how when receivers start dropping the ball, you get the jugs machine out, which fires balls at you to work on your hands. The secondary should be in there as well.
Harper 5 yards further back. Antonio Warren from his 40. Flag down. Warren down at the 50.
Glenn Harper cranks out a 45-yard kick.
Donovan Carter the tackle, and the preliminary indication a penalty against Calgary. 47-yard punt by the 40-year-old Ottawa punter.
Calgary number 26. First down.
Anthony Malbrough, the newcomer in the Calgary special teams, the culprit.
It's now time for the 7-11 scoring drive. If the Stampeders score a touchdown, a field goal, or a single during this offensive possession, everybody at the game wins a big gulp, courtesy of our friends at 7-11. First and 10.
Well, the penalty you can see right here. It's right over there. He just pulls him down right there, and you can't do that. He grabs from the back of the jersey. And a good call by the referee.
Crandall starts at the 30, looks over the middle. Travis Moore! And he should score! Travis Moore into the end zone, 80 yards. Touchdown, Stampeders. His longest of the year and his 9th touchdown.
Well, just running a post pattern. Starting on the outside, working against Vernon Mitchell, coming back into the middle. Nice job of throwing the ball on the run, on a rope, to a fleet-footed Travis Moore, and he takes it the rest of the way for a big touchdown and some life in this Calgary offense.
Only Milt Stiegel and Arlen Bruce have got more touchdown passes this season. A lightning strike to break a 4-4 tie. And McLaughlin puts it through to make it a 7-point Calgary advantage with 5:12 to go in the first half.
It's Aussie Rules time. All the action and reaction.
We went from ordinary to worse.
What a kick! Awesome goals and great grabs.
Oh, what a fire.
Only the best will do. So get up and cheer.
He's kicked the goal. He's kicked the goal.
Aussie Rules Highlight Show on Fox Sports World. Get your game.
That was his young son Trey. 6 touchdown in 4 games for Travis Moore.
Well, football's a game of one-on-one, and that's all this is. He's working one-on-one against Vernon Mitchell. He just takes him to the inside, gets some separation. Once he gets into the middle of the football field, it becomes a foot race, and Vernon Mitchell's not going to catch Travis Moore in this race.
Some question about Travis Moore's injured leg. He went out of the game last week in Edmonton, but it looks like he still has a breakaway burst.
Nice job at just a head fake to freeze Vernon Mitchell's feet. Once he freezes Mitchell's feet, he takes it into the inside. He's got separation from the defender, gets the football, and becomes a foot race, and we all know what happens after that. 7 points.
Ball falls off the tee. He did look like he was lumbering the last 10 yards or so.
Well, I'd like to lumber so gracefully.
You were poetry in motion. Archie Turner and Alfonso Roundtree are back. And the Renegades, the ball again, as the wind starting to kick up a little to the back of the Stampeders in the second quarter.
Well, that's got to be a big lift as we see the wind blowing the flags. A big lift for Crandall, who's struggled earlier in the first quarter and finally finding the receivers right now. And that's a big play for him, for the confidence, as you say, knowing that everybody loves the second team quarterback. He's the favorite guy in the ballpark.
I was just before that pass going to say, Crandall, one more series and we'll be wondering about Ben Sankey. Archie Turner, former track star, and look out if he can turn it upfield. Across the 50, cuts it back, and finally down at the 48-yard line. A 60-yard kickoff, 48 on the return for the speedster, Archie Turner.
Well, had it not been for number 4, Dybert, to turn him back inside, that's exactly what you got to do. Nice job of receiving the football, find the opening, and then do what all good returners do, accelerate, outrun the grasp, then get to the open field. Now, he does a nice job. Number 4, Dybert, does a good job of overrunning him, forcing him to come back inside where the rest of his teammates can take him down.
An alternate for the United States and their 1996 Olympic sprint team. Best field position to start a drive for Ottawa at the Calgary 47, but they're backed up. Antoine Young stops running behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Well, the reason Antoine Young stopped him behind the line of scrimmage is because the big boys in the middle, Rogers and Bradley, stuffed the middle. He wants to take this up the gut. He's going now. He has to bounce it to the outside. Once you get those shoulder pads facing east-west, you're in trouble because pursuit's going to get you. The way you're effective as a running back is keep that pad level going north-south.
2nd and 13. Looking far side. Here's Reggie Jones, incomplete. Penalty marker down. Jones, a former Saskatchewan Rough Rider who had 38 catches in 8 games with the Riders in 1999.
Well, we watched him in Regina, and he sure can fly. I don't know if he has the entire playbook. He's only been here a week, Chris, and at times during this football game, it's almost like he's not sure where he...
Forward pass interference. Ottawa number 8. Decline.
Where he should be going.
Nigel Williams called for pass interference, and it is declined by the Stampeders.
Well, that's usually a fancy term for a pick or a rub, where they try and rub off the defender and spring one of the receivers in the open, and that might explain why on that particular play Reggie Jones did have some opening.
So the Renegades do not capitalize on the Turner return, but Glenn Harper hopes to pin Calgary deep with under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Looks like they don't have the right alignment of players. Glenn Harper's going to have to take a time count.
Well, they only have 11 players on the football field. They're missing one guy, as we see. Vernon Mitchell, 31.
Timeout violation. Ottawa number 18. Still 3rd down.
You know, in Ottawa last week, we watched them go through their final run-through, and Joe Pow rehearses all of this, and they do it and try to be perfect. And there was one mistake a week ago in practice, and they don't tolerate mistakes, and there's a mistake that cost them 5 yards here.
That's the aspect of the game you should have down pat. They do work on that, as you say. Your man's not in, backup should be in there right away.
Harper hangs this punt not deep. Kelvin Anderson, or Don Blair, and his 21 brought down at the 25. And we join Mark Lee.
Chris, 3.5 minutes to halftime. Here's what's coming up on the halftime show. Chris Walby's Pro Tips will feature Kelly Wiltshire of the Ottawa Renegades. He'll talk tackling, and he knows about that. Ranked 7th right now in the CFL in tackles. And on Canadian Football Heroes, Grey Cup MVP Marcus Crandall of the Stampeders facing some heat in his 2nd season at the helm here in Calgary. And, of course, we'll have your first half analysis.
Looking forward to that. 3:23 to go in this first half. And we talked about the guy who wasn't on the field, Vernon Mitchell, and he made up for it. He was the first guy down to make the tackle. You know, he's trying to get some heat taken off of him. Looked like Travis Moore was offside again. Late flag is delivered. Ball up for grabs. And is it picked off?
No, it's laid off by the
Ricky Bell, the former Stampeder, thought he made the catch, and they're saying the ball hit the ground, but Gerald Vaughn got his mitts on another one and tipped it in the air. 3-minute warning given to the benches here. First half in Calgary.
It's Aussie Rules time. All the action and reaction.
We went from ordinary to worse.
What a kick! Awesome goals and great grabs.
Oh, what a fire!
Only the best will do. So get up and cheer.
He's kicked the goal. He's kicked the goal.
Aussie Rules Highlight Show on Fox Sports World. Get your game with self-confidence.
Out of nowhere, and the keeper beaten to the far post.
And courage.
The crossbar it is. Another moment of brilliance. Mike Ahmed cannot believe it.
You will come out victorious.
The Galaxy have won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup.
Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Fox Sports World, the home of world-class soccer.
Edmonton, city of champions? Since when? You're so lame! Your biggest attraction is a mall! Woohoo! Pack your bags, honey! We're going to Edmonton! They's got themselves a mall! Woohoo! Even your football team sucks! The Eskimos? If you didn't get hammered by the Stamps twice a year, we wouldn't even know you existed!
CFL, the rivalry, lives on.
Your mall sucks!
Vernon Mitchell getting attention on the sidelines. He was the guy late to come out for the punt. Then he made the tackle, but our crack spotter Larry Mueller thought he might have been hurt on the Travis Moore touchdown, and maybe that's why he wasn't out on the punt coverage.
We saw him pull up as he was attempting to bring down Travis Moore in that touchdown, and evidently the hamstring giving him a little bit of a problem.
And nearly picked off there by his replacement, Donnie Ruiz.
Pass intended for Rob Johnson.
So a couple of Crandall passes nearly picked back-to-back.
Well, after the last series big touchdown strike to Travis Moore, the last two pass attempts over the head, and both almost picked off. And this one here, Donnie Ruiz would love to have back because he's going to have nightmares about that one. It's right in his hands. He's got to come up with that catch.
Wilfred Laurier product, a native of Stony Creek. And so Calgary must punt. Should be good field position for Ottawa, trailing by a touchdown here late in the first half. And the Stampeders must take a time count violation. So there was a block alignment
time count violation. Calgary number 97. Still third down.
And Duncan O'Mahony didn't like the way it was set up and didn't want to risk having a punt blocked, especially with Gerald Vaughn on the field.
Well, Gerald Vaughn, and he's making sure they each have, everybody on that blocking team on Calgary has to call it a number. What happens, though, is Ottawa's shifting around. They're moving everybody around. They're sliding Vaughn. They're sliding Roundtree. That's causing some confusion in the counting system. And as a result, O'Mahony has to take a time count.
Looks like a big hole there, but they close it up. It's sealed. Archie Turner let it bounce. There's a mistake, and it bounces all the way down to the 25, and he does well just to cover it. Aldi Henry racing downfield, and Turner costs his team a lot of real estate as we join Mark.
Well, Chris, North America's richest show jumping purse is up for grabs. It's Bruce Meadows Equestrian CN International tonight at 7 Eastern. A record crowd of more than 57,000 fans expected as 50 world-class riders compete for a $1 million prize. That's tonight at 7 from Calgary.
A 70-yard punt by Duncan O'Mahony. And so the Renegades don't enjoy good field position. They start at their own 25. 2:38 on the clock. Here's the hitch, Jimmy Oliver. Up across the 30, let the ball go, and Calgary up with it, but the whistle had sounded.
Number 85, Jimmy Oliver.
Willie Fells pleads his case. He has 4 fumble recoveries already on the year. And the Renegades are going to have to squeeze that ball a little tighter.
Well, they're going to have to hold it most definitely. It's just a hitch pass. They had great success against the Argonauts last week with this play. He's going to cut inside the block. Now Malcolm Johnson does a nice job, but Joel Barnes fights off the block and makes the tackle. And you can see the ball on the ground right there. And obviously the Calgary Stampeders thought they had a case for recovery of a fumble.
Yes, it looked like Oliver had lost the handle before he was down. So
push that ball.
Well, as we see, the referee come over and talk to the time people. You can hear the bench of the Renegades basically saying, hold on to that football. Start squeezing that rock.
They put 4 seconds more on the clock. Val St. Germain has checked back in for Joe Pow at left guard. 2nd and 5. Clements dumps it off. Big Malcolm Johnson trying to get outside. And he spins across the 45 and finally gets over the 50. And you can hear the Stamps coaching staff a little upset with the poor tackling.
Well, it was, but I tell you what, give credit where credit's due. It's a nice job. It's just a drag route across the middle. Malcolm Johnson, the big 6'6" tight end, he just comes across, put it in his hands. He gets to the outside and does a nice move for the big man. He gets around to Sean Austin, gets to the sideline, busts a tackle, a little spin move, and of course that's what brought about the heckling by the Calgary Stampeder defensive crew, telling him to ramp up and bring the big man down.
21 yards, the gain for Ottawa, first down, short pass, and Reggie Jones at midfield.
Well, Reggie Jones with his first catch, just going to come back, a little slant inside, only picks up about 3 yards, but he gets to touch the football, and I think that's what they need to do, is get it out there. They've really been trying to force the ball to Oliver. They know this man, Reggie Jones, has got big play capabilities. He's got great speed, and if you get the ball to the outside, that'll open up the inside, and that'll allow Malcolm Johnson and Nigel Williams to come into this football game.
First catch for Jones, who is also coveted by the Stampeders. 2nd and 6. Clements looks down the sidelines and has Malcolm Johnson for another first down.
Malcolm Johnson with a nice, just running down the sidelines, just working against Joe Barnes, gets separation. The ball is thrown nicely by Chuck Clements, just dropped in the bucket. Little play action. Puts it up and it drops it right in. He gets separation. He just kind of runs away from Joe Barnes. Joe Barnes obviously thought he was going to get some help back there. You got to wonder, Chris, they're going to Malcolm Johnson. They're going to the inside. Where is Nigel Williams and when will they go to him?
1st and 10. Under 90 seconds to go, first half. They swing it out to Roddick. And Roddick drilled out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Chuck Clements, after the game last week, felt they left a lot of points out on the field because of turnovers and play selection when they got down deep, and that has been the case here in this first half. Only 4 points to show for an offense that has moved the ball at times.
Well, they moved it, but they keep putting the ball on the ground. They've got 2 fumbles by Roddick, and they can't do that right now. They had 1 in a scoring position. You got to take advantage of every opportunity. When you're an offense trying to find an identity, you can't give them their identity.
Hard to win when you turn the ball over as much as they have. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4 after a gain of 6. Clements, shovel pass, Roddick to the 20, and down to the 13-yard line, and that's been an effective play for the Renegades.
Well, it's a nice job, especially when you got over-aggressive defensive ends. And this play, Antoine Young, he's got to get to the quarterback. He's just going to go after the quarterback. That's his man. As a result, he creates a seam. Just going to work on him, get upside. He's got to take the quarterback. He knows that's his man. They dump it back inside. Roddick with the shovel pass, gets inside and does the rest himself.
Just over 1 minute remaining here in the first half. The ball to the Calgary 13, 1st and 10. Quick hitter inside. Johnson got one hand on it. Incomplete. 54 seconds on the clock.
Well, we talked about Antoine Young last play. I mean, this is a nice job of fighting out the cut block. Ottawa's trying to get the defender's hands down to allow Chuck Clements an area to see his receiver, to get rid of the football quickly. Antoine Young fights off the block, gets in there quickly, forces Chuck Clements to throw the football a little quicker than he wanted, and as a result, the ball's incomplete.
9th play of the drive. This was an area where they failed to convert last week against the Argonauts. Clements looks to the end zone and throws behind the left-handed receiver Jimmy Oliver. And a little frustration for the young quarterback.
And now third down.
Well, they got a clearing pattern. Jimmy Oliver's going to go deep to the end zone, and they're going to hook Malcolm Johnson, the big slot back, and he actually throws it over Malcolm and underneath Jimmy Oliver. You can see Malcolm going up to try and catch that ball, and it falls short in front of Jimmy Oliver. Just a bad throw, basically, by the quarterback, Chuck Clements.
Number 17, Lawrence Tynes.
Melvin Bradley was bearing down. The pass falls incomplete. Tynes is on to attempt a 20-yarder. Harper the holder. And he misses an easy one. And that will take the steam out of the Renegades as they get set to go to the locker at halftime. An uncharacteristic miss by a guy that they thought had solved their problems.
Well, shades of games ago where who was the kicker they had before? Scoris. He got a second opportunity to kick field goals. They've gotten so many field goal kickers. Right at the end of the half, they have an opportunity to kick a field goal. He misses a close one as well. Really discouraging to go in the locker room.
Well, the end of Skouras was a 21-yard miss against Hamilton.
That's what it was. And, you know, they're saying, you know, they don't like to use an American at that position as a kicker. But if he's kicking wonderful, you know, you can kind of find a way to keep him on the roster. But if he starts missing 21-yarders, boy, I tell you what, they're going to look at some other, maybe a Canadian to fill that spot.
Well, it's interesting. John Cutler, the son of legendary kicker Dave Cutler, was here today. They're apparently going to have him try out. They've had 30 different Canadian kickers try out for the Renegades since January. Here's Don Blair with a catch up at the 47-yard line. 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's a stat that I found unbelievable. In the last 3 minutes of both the first half and in the games this year, the Calgary Stampeders have really struggled offensively. Since the first game of the year, just 14 minutes in the last 3 minutes of a game. They've only scored 3 points in the last 3 minutes of a half this year. It's been very few and far between late points for Calgary to really go to the locker room with momentum. But maybe here, as they are moving the football into Renegade territory at the 45.
Well, that's just a nice job of Kamal Peterson finding a hole in the zone, getting good protection.
There is a marker on the play.
Penalty flag.
Offside. Ottawa number 90. Decline. First down.
Well, Clinton Wayne, that big finger offside. It's right in the middle of your screen. He's just going to jump. Right on there, he's just going to jump offside and give Marcus Crandall credit. He takes advantage of the play, stays in there, and finds a nice toss to Kamal Peterson for a big gain.
Chance for Calgary to really take a stranglehold on this football game. Over the middle, Peterson, incomplete. And Ottawa thought they had a fumble recovery. Gerald Vaughn on the football. 17 seconds remaining, and I don't know, I thought Peterson caught the ball and then coughed it up.
That's exactly what Gerald Vaughn thinks as well. I mean, you see he's got the ball, but he never really has control of the football.
Good call.
That's the big thing. It's a good call by the referee right there. Johnny on the spot.
Boy, Vaughn is around that football throughout the game. 2nd and 10. Good protection. Anderson in the flat at the 40.
32 makes the catch, steps out of bounds.
5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down.
A gain of nearly 5. 3rd down, 5 to go.
And Mark McLaughlin perhaps to try one last field goal in this first half. A tough one for a struggling kicker. 47 yards, which is certainly in his range, and the wind at his back.
Well, we'll see if that one, Chris, that he chipped in to break that slump he was in has any bearing on this long attempt of his.
Timeout. Ottawa.
Ottawa has to call a timeout. I don't think they had the proper complement on the field again.
Car Repair, proud donors of Stampede season tickets to the boys.
And now they're going to get the kickers into the end zone to make sure that Joe Pow doesn't give up an extra point he doesn't have to.
That's exactly what they're doing right now. They want to do the situation where if they have to, they'll run it out or kick it out.
Or are they? Science ran out. Now he's running back off the field. So
Gatorade Performance Pack. Did you know the average lineman loses 7 pounds?
they're going to put 3 men in the end zone, but they're not going to worry about a kicker.
Reduces dehydration. Gatorade is in use.
And they give Mark McLaughlin an extra 30 seconds to think about it. 47-yard attempt to expand on a 6-point Calgary lead. Line drive, and that misses, and they'll run it out. Across the 15, Alfonso Roundtree brings it out, and Mark McLaughlin is 1 for 4 again this afternoon after going 1 for 4 last Friday.
And he just hit that ball terribly, right in the middle of the ball. Didn't get underneath it at all, got no height. Was almost like a line drive off a batter.
Looked like one of my drives. Mark?
Just finished talking to Mark McLaughlin, Chris, before he went out for that attempt, and he told me that his timing has been thrown off in this football game. He says, I have between 1.3 and 1.4 seconds to get the ball off, and if anybody fouls that up on the Ottawa defense, it throws him off. And he said the last near block by Gerald Vaughn on the second miss has really affected his timing.
This should be the final play of the first half. Clemens takes a knee. And both teams will go to the locker room thinking about missed opportunities. A low-scoring game, despite the fact both teams generate over 200 yards of offense in this first half. Josh Ronick has to deal with a couple of fumbles that cost his team points in a half that shows why both teams are in the cellar.
Well, that's the nice thing as we go down to Mark. They just got to make some adjustments.
Thanks, Chris. Wally, you've got the lead at the half. The Travis Moore touchdown, reason to smile, but I couldn't help but noticing your frustration. How did you see the first half?
Well, again, just some dumb penalties. We're offside with our receivers, and like I said, they're not making the, the blitz pick up when it's important. But like I said, we've made some big plays. We've settled down on defense, and like I said, it's a tough game as we expected.
What's wrong with Mark McLaughlin?
Again, sometimes you think too much, and right now, like I said, he's rushing. He's trying to do the things that are not natural for him, and obviously he's not hitting the ball very well.
Wally, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Wally Buono and the Calgary Stampeders with an 11-5 lead over Ottawa at halftime at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Back in Calgary at halftime, and it's the home team with an 11-5 lead over the expansion Renegades in a low-scoring first half of football. Well, when Marcus Crandall was named Grey Cup MVP 1 year ago, he knew he'd face enormous expectations this year. Heck, this town has grown accustomed to quarterbacks like Flutie, Garcia, and Dickinson. But with so many changes in the Calgary offense this year, it's been a struggle. And through it all, there's been no quit at quarterback. Canadian Football Heroes. Brought to you by Standard Life.
On the football field, in practice, I'm not a rah-rah type of guy. Everybody knows that. I'm not a big talker.
On game day, Marcus Crandall lets his actions speak louder than anything he might possibly say.
This is only my second year as a starter, and so I'm still learning myself, and I'm trying to continue to pressure myself and put things into perspective as far as, not taking anything for granted.
Crandall learned his craft backing up Danny McManus in Edmonton in the late 90s.
I had to really sit back and just watch those guys in practice and learn as much as I can and stay in it. And just in case the opportunity presented itself.
In 3 years in Edmonton, Crandall's playing chances were few and far between.
It was very frustrating, but I stayed patient. I was brought up that way. I like stepping up to the challenges and things like that because of how I grew up. My mother died when I was 5 years old. and my father went away. You know, so I was practically raised by my sister and my grandparents, and you know, people don't realize how easy it could have been for me to just disobey her, you know, and do the things that I wanted to do. You know, you use things to motivate you, and so that's been my motivation all since I was a little kid. You know, things aren't always given to you and handed to you on a silver platter. You know, you have to work for it, and so I just said to myself, you know, if I put in the hard work and effort to strive to be the best I can, that sometime my shot will come.
From East Carolina, Marcus Crandall.
It's always good to win a championship. You know, anybody could have been named the MVP, but and I wouldn't have cared. As long as we won the game, that's all I wanted to do. I felt like throughout my whole career that if I was given an opportunity, that I could help somebody win a championship. And my first opportunity last year, I did.
And our thanks to Steve Armitage for this week's installment of Canadian Football Heroes. Marcus Crandall, good on 10 of 18 for 170 yards and 1 touchdown. No interceptions in a respectable first half here in Calgary.
You know, you may not be able to afford to drive a Porsche Boxster, but you can still drive the coolest car in town with this stuff right here, RET 2000. The technology in this can has the ability to make your air conditioner unit in your car cool it so it feels, so nice and crisp inside. Pick up the phone and call and order a can now. Here's how.
To order your RET 2000, call 1-888-625-9931. Call today or visit us on the web at coolestcar.com.
How to cut your current monthly bills by as much as 50% or more. Hi, I'm Bob Vila. Sometimes, no matter how hard you work at it, you just can't seem to make ends meet. You're writing those checks every month, and you just barely have enough money to pay your bills, much less save anything. Want to change all that? Here's how. Call Home 123. They can help you cut your monthly bills by as much as 50%. Let's say these are some of your monthly payments. Home 123 can show you how to turn all those payments into one low monthly payment that could be as little as half of what you're paying now. In this example, that would be almost $500 extra in your pocket. Just think what you could do with money like that. You could make it happen right now with one call. If you own your home, call Home 123. Even if your credit isn't exactly perfect, they'll come up with a loan that's right for you. Call now and see how easy it can be to make ends meet. Call 1-800-HOME-123 or visit us on the web at home123.com. It's how to get the money you need.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do. I set up networks, I troubleshoot, I basically do things I would have never dreamed I'd been able to do before.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you.
I'd never really thought of the Army as a choice.
Your free video will also give you an idea of what Army life is like, how you can earn money for college, even what questions to ask your recruiter.
I'm going to walk away with a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and something that's going to change me for the rest of my life.
Call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, and you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of one.
If you would ask me a year ago if I'd be here doing this, I could have never imagined it. I love what I do. I love doing it for the Army.
Welcome back, everyone. 11-5. The Renegades trailing in this game. Kickers having a little bit of a problem, but we're glad you're with us on America One for the CFL Game of the Week, and also all of you at Fox Sports World and the Sunshine Network, welcome in. Let's go back to Canada and check in with Ted Michaels, our CFL expert on site in Canada. Ted, we talked a little bit in the first half about the influx of NFL players that had joined Calgary, but we did not get a chance to talk about one wide receiver, Reggie Jones, who actually had 2 pretty successful years in the NFL with the San Diego Chargers. How does he look to you so far?
Well, they really haven't tested him all that much. I want to see what this guy can do, because I know that Dick Vermeil, the Kansas City Chiefs coach, was saying that this guy can fly. He was a track star down at Louisiana State University, and you mentioned he played with San Diego in 2000 and played with the Kansas City Chiefs. I kind of like to see them test him a little bit, kind of get Chuck Clements, the old Houston quarterback, there to kind of air it out and test him deep and see what he can do.
I agree. I understand in Kansas City, actually, he ran a 4.29 for them. I can't believe really that he didn't make that team with that offense.
I sometimes wonder if those 40 times are correct or not. Is it 4.29 on grass? Is it 4.29 on turf? But yeah, let's wait and see if they open it up a bit and see what he can do in this bigger field.
All right, Ted, thanks for joining us. We will see you after the game. Ted Michaels from Canada. Now let's head back out to our CBC guys. Chris and Chris will go through the plays of the first half with you, and then on with the game.
From the first half, and all it is bad things. We talked about turnovers and how they'll kill you. Josh Ronick put the ball on the ground 2 times in the first half, and both times in scoring opportunities.
Yet Ottawa seemed to move the ball at times. They missed a field goal, and for Calgary, a couple of big plays. Great burst by Antonio Warren.
Well, nice job. First time he touches the rock, he takes it around, and he shows his shiftiness and his speed once he gets in the open. And of course, the big play, obviously this one, Travis Moore working against Vernon Mitchell, comes inside. Nice big play, an 80-yard touchdown scamper, Crandall to Moore.
But the mistakes in the first half really indicative of 2 teams who have combined for 10 consecutive losses. They're in last place in their respective divisions. Look at those numbers. Those aren't bad totals for first half. The turnovers, obviously.
Well, that's the big thing. Obviously, if you look at the 3 turnovers by the Ottawa Renegades, that'll kill you, and it kills drives. And they're momentum killers as well, and it gives Calgary more life, more opportunity to keep driving and get their points, and as a result, they're winning this football game.
Well, the Ottawa Renegades have yet to win a game on the road this year. They certainly have a winnable game here, trailing by only 6 at the half, and Calgary really needing a win to get back into playoff form, especially with that victory by the BC Lions last night over Edmonton. So we're getting set for the second half. It's a gorgeous day at McMahon Stadium, and the home side has a 6-point lead.
What do women really want? Oh, the usual things. Jewelry, moisturizers, bags. If you're a woman with a passion to play, then call now. Your magazine has arrived. Sports Illustrated Women. Tone up and fuel up. Cool styles and great gear. And now a special offer. Call now for a free preview issue. Absolutely risk-free. Get Sports Illustrated Women. Live it.
How far can you go with a degree from University of Phoenix Online? Our graduates are GMs, VPs, and CEOs at major corporations. Attending classes via the internet, when and where they want, they received a state-of-the-industry education. And they earned their degree in just 2 to 3 years so they could start putting it to good use now. University of Phoenix Online, the intelligent way to attend class.
For more information, call 800-339-2694.
They'll battle it out, and in turn, who's the chosen one from down under? And the Australian Rugby League. Rugby League on Fox Sports World. Get your game. A way of expressing, a way of interpreting, a way of life. The Scottish Premier League is on display as 12 teams render their souls while defending their pride to become the new king in the league that defines champion spirit. The Scottish Premier League on Fox Sports World, your home of world-class soccer.
We're getting set for the second half in Calgary. Let's join Mark Lee.
Here's Ottawa head coach Joe Popow. Joe, some great chances for your team in the first half and a lot of points left on the football field. How did you see it?
Well, you know what? We turned the ball over, and just the positive things. We just got to hold on to it and get down there and got to put some points up and I guess stay in this game. I think we can tighten it up a little bit on defense. We'll be okay.
Young Josh Ronick with, again, some more electrifying runs in that first half, but 2 fumbles, as you mentioned. How do you keep his chin up?
Well, just keep giving him the ball. You know, he's fine. You know, he's a hard worker, and we have faith in him, and, you know, he'll deliver, and we got 30 minutes to prove it.
Joe, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mark.
So a vote of confidence for Josh Hronick. Let's check the Canadian Tire game notes.
Calgary talked about the O-line, how important it would be to open up holes for the running backs and protect the quarterback. They got 111 yards rushing in the first half alone. That's not a bad job already by the offensive line. Defense catch the ball. We saw a couple times, William Fields in particular, have got to catch and get that interception. They did force 3 turnovers, however. On offense, for Ottawa, we talked about eliminating turnovers. Well, 3 turnovers in the first half. You got 2 fumbles and they got stopped on a 3rd down gamble. On defense, eliminate big plays. More 80-yard touchdown catch and the big run, 48-yarder by Antonio Warren.
Mark McLaughlin kicking it off. Second half is underway. Here's Archie Turner. And he is met near the 35-yard line. Well, Chuck Clements let down by his teammates to a certain degree. He managed the offense pretty well and put up decent numbers.
Well, you know, we don't see any yellow dots, and that's the big thing right there. No touchdowns. He has a couple completes. Got 1 pass over 30 yards up here. But everything else is short, intermediate routes. And he's got a lot of drop balls, as you said. They got to start helping their quarterback.
So just 8 passes for Chuck Clements as we start this second half, and Hronick has the ball, finds a little opening on that right side, and a tough guy to break down, finally gets to the 40. And a gain of 5. As Joe Pow said, just keep giving him the ball.
Give him the ball, but give him the ball different ways. I found success with the shovel pass. One of the things we haven't seen yet is a screen. You got to do that, especially when you got an aggressive defense like Calgary. You see Alondra Johnson, he's right there at the line of scrimmage. His job is to key, to follow everywhere that Josh Hronick goes.
So it'll be 2nd and 5, and that's a nice rushing average, over 10 yards a carry for Josh Hronick so far. 4 receivers left side. They look to the other side of the field, and the catch is made by Malcolm Johnson, close to the first down, and it will depend on the spot.
Well, nice job again of just getting what you need to get the change, to keep moving, to get that first down. That's knowing where you are. That's experience on the football field. Nice job by Malcolm Johnson, finding the first down marker, settling down and making the catch.
He did indeed get the first at the Ottawa 47. Well, a big target. He had 4 catches last week. You mentioned off the top, just 17 yards in that game. He impressed us with his blocking last week, but Chuck Clements working it more into the offense here. And he's going back to... No, it's Nigel Williams, and that's the first time in 2 games they've hooked up. So he's gone to the other big man inside.
And this is what they want to do. They stole a prototype, if you would. They wanted to have the big towers inside, almost like Bo Richter and Danielson out Calgary. And they got Malcolm Johnson and they got Nigel Williams with, as you say, his first catch in 2 games. But Joe Pow said one of the nice things, one of the most professional things he's seen in breaking down film is Nigel Williams, his work ethic. Not getting the football, but always running his routes at 100%.
Nigel Williams over 1,000 yards from the slot back position back in 1998. Of course, Doug Flutie was throwing passes then. Doesn't hurt. On a roll, Clements. Darren Joseph was down the sidelines, but was out of bounds and incomplete.
But a nice job by Chuck Clements. Yeah, the pass was incomplete, but he threw the ball where only Darren Joseph could catch that football. You see, he turns around, throws it to him where Darren Joseph can turn and make the catch. Otis Floyd is just concerned right now with not letting Darren Joseph get out of his sight. He's not even playing the football.
That was his debut last week. Distraught after the game, he met with the coach, got a vote of confidence, and Joe Pow said he expected Clements to be 10% better today. And I think that's been a pretty good evaluation of his play so far as he rolls out to buy time and now throw against the grain, wide open. Williams drops the ball. And how many times have we said that in recent weeks for the Renegades? Receivers open and still dropping the football.
Oh, that's just, is totally frustrating. You wonder why they haven't gotten Nigel Williams. We talked about the fact he's being open down the seam. You got to come up with this catch. There's nothing. It is a great presence by Chuck Clements to stop, buy himself some time, throw back across the field, have a guy wide open, only to have him drop the football. You have got to catch those footballs.
Well, the wind is at the back of the Renegades. We mentioned Joe Paupau said you might see a 60-yard attempt in this game. Lawrence Tynes is surveying a 59-yarder.
A 59-yard field goal attempt.
Well, we know that Tynes has the leg. He missed one from short range, trying to redeem himself here with a big one. He's got the leg. It's good. 59 yards. There is a flag thrown late. And let's see if it impacts the play.
Well, usually when the flag is thrown late, Chris, it's something that's downfield. And I'm sure the field goal is going to stand.
How about that?
Well, the man talked and he just walked the walk.
59-yarder for number 17.
Well, that's a bonus, and that's what he can bring to the Renegades. He had a 58-yarder in NFL Europe, and now has nailed one here. And there's a discussion about whether they decline and take the yardage. That flag was thrown after the ball went through the uprights. So let's see what the options are.
Well, depending how close they are after the penalty to a first down, I think you just decline it. You can take the 3 points. But if they're short and they only have a little bit to go, depending on the nature of the penalty as well, if it's a major penalty, 15 yards, they would get a first down.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary number 74, first down.
Wow, Melvin Bradley. So you don't often see a 59-yard field goal, and you certainly don't see it taken off the board. Well, at least Tyne shows you his potential.
Oh, and you know what? As happy as he is, deep down he's cursing right now because he wanted that one to stand.
Remember, this is a guy who said, I don't want him to score touchdowns, I want to kick field goals.
Well,
but
it's a good thing for the offense. Now they got to capitalize from this.
Well, there is a saying in football, don't take the points off the board. Well, they just did.
I think it's a huge emotional lift with a 59-yarder. You're putting points on the board. Yeah, the offense is back, but they better capitalize now on this drive.
Ball moved to the Calgary 37. Play action. Clements in as he delivers, and there's a great catch. As stretching out was Reggie Jones, and that's certainly what Eric Tillman and Joe Paupau expected when they signed the former Rough Rider.
Well, he's just going to go down 20 yards and curl back in the middle, trying to get some separation from Deshaun Austin, who's played very well at the cornerback, wide side cornerback position. But a nice job. Look at the presence. One of the things you can't teach a quarterback, to stay in the pocket knowing you're going to get hit. That is a veteran move right there by Chuck Clements.
18 yards on the Clements to Jones connection. And a first down for the Renegades. At the Calgary 19, Clements steps up. Chased by Rogers and Johnson, and throws it away. And Alondra Johnson lowers the boom out of bounds.
Johnson, 51 on the
But a nice decision by Chuck Clements to get outside, buy himself some more time. Alondra Johnson's in pursuit. He's going to force Chuck Clements to throw this football, but Chuck Clements knows he's got a receiver downfield. He just purposely overthrows him, and he'll start over and get the ball exactly where they had it and just be second down.
You can see Joe Barnes with tight coverage on Denny Montana. When you know you've taken 3 points off the board, you don't want to throw one up.
Well, exactly. You don't want to try and force one in there. He did a nice decision by getting rid of the football, putting where no one could come up with it.
So now 2nd and 10. Bronick the lone setback. Clements looking into the end zone for Malcolm Johnson. Incomplete, flag down. Melvin Bradley.
Number 80, Malcolm Johnson.
Well, Melvin Bradley
is out of reach, and there's a
is pointing against Ottawa.
And apparently Bradley was clipped on the play.
Well, they're going to call one of these offensive linemen for an illegal block. And that's going to push him back in a situation here now where we may see Lawrence Tynes again.
Well, do you take it 15 yards out and give them another play and make Tynes work, or do you concede?
Major foul, clipping, Ottawa number 57, third down.
Big Bell St. Germain, he's right here. He's just in the screen. Now he gets beat. Now watch him come back. He's going to come back and throw it to back of the legs. Clips him. Nice job. Way to catch that. I tell you what, an offensive lineman, you know, really, Chris, they're told, do whatever you do to prevent the quarterback from taking a shot.
It is 15 yards and a loss of downs, so Tynes comes in. Remember, he just hit one from 59, taken off the board. He's got to come back and put it back through from 40 yards out. And wouldn't you know it, he misses to the left, and they end up with one. The old adage, don't take points off the board. And the Renegades, for their sake, unfortunately, proved that true again.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do. I set up networks, I troubleshoot, I basically do things I would have never dreamed I'd been able to do before.
If you've never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you.
I'd never really thought of the Army as a choice.
The free video will also give you an idea of what Army life is like, how you can earn money for college, even what questions to ask a recruiter.
I'm going to walk away with a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and something that's going to change me for the rest of my life.
Call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, and you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of one.
If you would ask me a year ago if I'd be here doing this, I could have never imagined it. I love what I do. I love doing it for the Army.
With self-confidence.
Out of nowhere! And the keeper beaten to the far post.
And courage.
The crossbar in. Another moment of brilliance. My God, I cannot believe it.
You will come out victorious.
The Galaxy has won the McMahon U.S. Open Cup.
Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Fox Sports World, the home of world-class soccer.
It's been one of those days. You nail a 59-yarder, they take it off the board, and now Lawrence Tynes is 1 for 3 in the game, and you thought they should have kept the 3.
Well, you know, you got 2 quarters of football to play. I mean, here's the miss right here. He's just going to basically hook it and just take it to the left of the upright. They get 1 point out of it, but they had 3 on the board. They had a 59-yarder. They had momentum. They had excitement, and now they're like a balloon with the air left out.
Anderson hit by Bolton as he crossed the line of scrimmage, and a couple of tough yards for Anderson, who passed 8,000 yards in his career, and we checked the distribution of Marcus Crandall's passes today.
Well, he's thrown a lot to the left side of the football field, as evidenced by over here. I mean, he really likes to go here. Obviously, this big one is a touchdown. That's the 80-yarder to Moore, but he really is favoring the left side of the football field.
It's amazing how both quarterbacks really have not gone up the gut much with their passes over the middle.
Which is surprising, Chris. Like, you definitely do want to stretch these defenses.
Here's Crandall looking for more again. Vaughn the play, puts the flag, and it looked like Vaughn made contact just prior to the ball arriving.
Well, as Gerald Vaughn is celebrating right now. Travis Moore just kind of anticipated that count, just going to work a little head fake, come back in the middle.
Forward pass interference, Ottawa number 39, first down.
Well, Vaughn definitely with the hand on the jersey, pulling and tugging at Travis Moore before he could come up with that reception. And a good call by the official.
Boy, he is a presence in that defensive backfield, however.
You know, and that's one of the things I always tell even kids when you talk to them from coaching Little League. You say, never celebrate about a play, because sometimes you celebrate, it goes against you, and you look, well, not like the smartest guy.
From the 54, they fake to Anderson and look deep, looking for Rob Johnson. A battle there, and more penalty markers. Ricky Bell victimized there, or will it be the other way?
Well, when the ball's in the air, you both have the ability to fight for the football. However, the defender has to actually play the football and can't interfere.
Ottawa number 25.
with the receiver trying to catch the football. And in this case, he interferes with the receiver, Rob Johnson. You see him right there. He's not letting him get his hands up there. He's got them both on there. His back is to the football. If his front of his jersey is facing up, they're both facing the football. You can both fight for the football. But when your back is showing, 99% of the time, they're going to throw that flag.
So that penalty, 41 yards for the Stampeders, and now they threaten from the Ottawa 15. Here's Warren, hit in the backfield, and John Grace there again. All around the football once again this afternoon.
Well, the Ottawa Renegade defense, they just do a nice job. And you see Donovan Carter is the first guy to make contact with Antonio Warren in the backfield. I mean, the strong safety's up on the line of scrimmage. You know what? They're just gambling. Ottawa's defense is going to come after you. They're going to play smash mouth football. You run the football, boy, I tell you what, they're going to make it very difficult to beat them. But as Antonio Warren did in the first half, if you get past that initial line, boy, it's a lot of daylight. They got double tight.
So double tight end formation for Calgary on 2nd and 13. Crandall looks for Travis Moore, picked off. Gerald Vaughn has this one, and Vaughn could run a long way. Look out, he'll go by Reginald. And Gerald Vaughn racing inside the 30. One man to catch him. Kelvin Anderson back, can't bring him down. Touchdown Ottawa.
Number 39, Gerald Vaughn traverses the football field.
And once again, a turnover when the offense looked like it was going to score.
They got penalties. They got down in scoring position. They brought in double tight end to give Marcus Crandall more time to throw the football. They know Ottawa is going to come after him. They do a nice job of bringing the blitz. They put pressure on him. He throws the ball. Gerald Vaughn, wonderful job of stepping in front of the receiver and taking it all the way back for a touchdown.
His 32nd career interception. What a force he is, and what a turnaround in this game.
One of the guys that Ronnie Lancaster Hamilton was so sorry to lose was Gerald Vaughn. Not only for his playmaking ability on the football field, but for his character and his leadership in the locker room.
Tides to add the extra point. Renegades have the lead here in the third quarter. 105 yards. Vaughn returning the interception for a touchdown.
A way of expressing, a way of interpreting, a way of life. The Scottish Premier League is on display as 12 teams render their souls while defending their pride to become the new king in the league that defines spirit. The Scottish Premier League on Fox Sports World, your home of world-class soccer.
Edmonton City of Champions? Since when? You're so lame! Your biggest attraction is a mall! Woohoo! Pack your bags, honey! We're going to Edmonton! They's got themselves a mall! Woohoo! Even your football team sucks! The Eskimos? If you didn't get hammered by the Stamps twice a year, we wouldn't even know you existed!
CFL, the rivalry lives on.
Your mall sucks!
The players are being assembled. They're battered out. In turn, who's the chosen one from down under? And the Australian Rugby League on Fox Sports World. Get your game.
Well, a little oxygen for Gerald Vaughn. That was a 109-yard touchdown, the third of his career.
Well, I tell you what, they're bringing blitz. This guy's coming. This guy's coming. Here's the save. He's coming. Here, this guy's coming. You got 4 guys coming. Now, when they bring everybody up there, you got to get rid of the ball. They got double tight in there. He has to still throw the ball in a hurry. Look at that. Gerald Vaughn in the hip pocket picks up the interception, his second of the year, and takes it 109 yards to put Ottawa right back in this game with the lead 13-11.
Like Scott Reginald got stuck in the mud there.
Well, change of direction.
Kelvin Anderson, a great effort to get back, but Vaughn with one move, and he was dancing in the end zone.
That's the veteran quality of Gerald Vaughn. You see him just sitting in the hip pocket of Travis Moore, just following Travis Moore through the football field. The ball's thrown, underthrown.
Now I got to go back out there and play some more.
And he makes Calgary pay.
Antonio Warren skips across the 25 and lunges past the 40. Trying to re-energize this Stampeder crew that has to be reeling.
It's a 38-yard return.
You see Gerald Vaughn go on the football field. He just does a nice job. He's going to enter the center of your screen. Just going to sit on the hip pocket right there. The ball is underthrown. And Gerald Vaughn does the rest on his own, just eluding the tackler, cuts back against the grain, goes back, and as you say, catches Regin Bald flat-footed, and that becomes a foot race. Great effort by Calvin Anderson to try and tackle him at the end, but Gerald Vaughn, a little shift move at the end and takes it into the end zone. 109 yards.
Wally Buono stays with Marcus Crandall. The give Anderson.
Crandall
Short
turns,
yardage.
Hands off, and it's Kelvin Anderson up the middle.
John Grace.
About 3 yards.
Like Moten on the tackle.
Well, he realized he'd like to have that pass back. He just underthrown it, so he's just going to come back. Don't lose faith in what's still being working. Give the ball to Calvin Anderson. Ottawa's defense being playing tough on the run all day, except for the one run in the second quarter by Antonio Warren.
Hey, I got it.
14th interception tossed by Crandall this year. 2nd and 7. Looks over the wide side. It falls incomplete. Couple of Renegades were in the neighborhood. The pass intended for Kamal Peterson, and the armchair quarterbacks want to see Ben Sankey.
Well, you see what happens right now when the offense has a big play against him. He comes out and you go 2 and out the next series. The Boo Birds come out and they're right all over him, as you say, and they want to see Ben Sankey. But it's just frustrated right now. He's forcing it right now. He's trying to get something done. A good quarterback works his way out of the dilemma he's in. Boy, you wonder how much longer he will have that opportunity.
You saw the Renegades fine rush in. Derek Ford being taped up at the Ottawa bench. O'Malley to punt on 3rd down. Archie Turner awaits. Turner at his 20. Flag down as somebody blocked him out. Peterson in the back and helped spring.
Number 27, Turner.
Archie Turner, and I think it's Ricky Bell who will get tagged with the call. But the Renegades have stolen the lead here in Calgary.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
PetMeds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-888-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online. She's got it all figured out. She's buying a new home. She's saving for her kids' education. She's even investing for retirement. Yep, she's got all the bases covered. No, not her. Her. Introducing Transamerica Gold Tender, the investment program everyone can afford. Unlike other mutual funds that charge a big minimum, we let you start at zero and invest as little as $60 a month. You can choose a time frame of 10, 15, or 20 years, with goal amounts up to $100,000 tax-free. You don't need to know a thing about investing. Just call now for our free Get Started kit. But hurry, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can be a big-time investor like him. No, not him. Him. Transamerica Gold Tender. Your goals are closer than you think.
The 24th consecutive crowd of over 30,000 at McMahon Stadium, 31,891. Growing impatient here, but they have backed up the Renegades thanks to this Ricky Bell penalty on Aldi Henry, who's always so impressive on Calgary special teams. It's a 2-point Ottawa lead as they start from their own 12. Offside Ottawa as Clements hears it down the sidelines and into the Calgary bench.
Clements' pass is incomplete and a flag down.
We've seen this a few times today. The receivers in Ray Elgard form today, but getting called for it.
Well, just trying to get the jump on the defender, the secondary guy covering him.
Offside. Ottawa number 86. Decline. Second down.
Well, Nigel Williams, he's right there. He's just going to kind of jump the line. You can see him right there. He doesn't even stop. He just keeps going and tries to get away with one. Official right there throwing a flag. And
so it's 2nd and 10. A few times Ottawa's been backed up today, but Clements has done a nice job of at least getting them better field position before the punt. 2nd and 10. Pressure on, and he throws a strike, and this will be dropped. And that's the newcomer, Reggie Jones. And that brings up 3rd down as we join Mark.
Well, Chris, speaking of Ray Elgard, he's one of 5 new members of the Canadian Football Hall of Fame. The inductions tonight in Hamilton. And Elgard played his entire career in Saskatchewan, 14 years. He was the CFL's outstanding Canadian 3 times, an All-Star 4 times. And his teammate Roger Aldag on the O-line played his entire 17-year career with Saskatchewan, a CFL All-Star 5 times.
Well, our congratulations to all those gentlemen, and Ray will remember you for a lot more than that running start. Here's Warren. Oh, big tackle there, Vernon Mitchell. If he doesn't grab him, Antonio Warren's running a long way. Left. 3rd quarter. Here's Anderson breaking a tackle and making something out of nothing down to the 37-yard line. So a gain of 7 for Kelvin Anderson as Calgary takes it over on the Ottawa side of the field.
Well, on the Ottawa side of the field, and you get nice first down production, and allows Marcus Crandall to try and use more of the playbook that he has. Right now, he's got to mix it up a little bit. He's becoming pretty standard in what he wants to do. He's trying to force situations to the left side of the football field. I think he's got to start running with the football.
Kelvin just passed Tracy Ham on the all-time rushing list, and he'll add to his totals. But get drilled back, and look at that extra fight to get a first down when I thought he was stopped short.
Well, he was, but the big offensive lineman on the right side, I mean, they're just going to keep pushing. You got Freddie Childress, you got Jay McNeil. They're going to try and get him that first down to keep the drive alive.
Anderson passing Tracy Ham, now standing 8th on the all-time rushing list. And he came into this game 61 yards out of top spot in the rushing lead. 1st and 10, double tights for the Stamps. Crandall with time, and that ball is knocked down by Vernon Mitchell, intended for Rob Johnson.
Well, again, a situation where they're anticipating on 2nd down, having some pressure coming from the Ottawa Renegade defense. They bring in the double tight, little extra protection, a little extra time for Crandall. He tries to thread the needle, but a nice job of covering by Vernon Mitchell, coming back on that football, staying right in the hip pocket of the receiver.
You know, we haven't used the word today, and maybe we should just put it away, but again today, this Ottawa defense not looking at all like an expansion team.
Well, you were talking to them earlier, Chris, they really hate that label.
Crandall flushed out, takes off, Grace in pursuit, what a block! And Crandall stopped short of a first down, penalty marker down, and Kelvin Anderson provided the block, but I think paid a price.
Well, Kelvin Anderson left his feet to make the block on John Grace, and I think took the worst of the blow. He's coming off the field right now. You don't ever want to leave. He gets it in the stomach, in the solar plexus.
Or lower.
Or lower. That's the polite way of putting it. Nice job of evading the pressure, getting to the outside. And right in there, inside your screen, he's just trying to get to the outside. And
Calgary number 8. Repeat second down.
Well, for not Kamal Peterson jumping the gun again. And Chris, we've seen that time and time again by both offenses, the receivers jumping offside.
That makes it 2nd and 15 and brings the ball back to the Ottawa 39. The Stampeders still not really achieving that level of consistency that Wally Buono was looking for. Randall for Johnson, up for grabs and drops incomplete.
Johnson, number 80 again.
Good coverage by Alfonso Roundtree.
Well, a nice job by Ottawa mixing it up. They don't bring the blitz to second downs. We look at the home cooking. 1992,000, one home loss or less 7 times.
That's a remarkable,
isn't that something?
Home record in the 90s. Things have turned around, and in fact, Calgary needs to win here today to even their home record this season at 3-3.
Well, we're in the situation this season right now where this is a must-win for both teams. There is no tomorrow. You have to win. You can't wait till next week anymore.
This attempt outside the 45 for Mark McLaughlin as Calgary tries to regain the lead. And McLaughlin has missed another. He is 1 for 5 on the day. Uncharacteristic for the 15-year vet. 2 for 9 in his last 2 games. Well, so many great kicks by Mark McLaughlin in his distinguished career here, but clearly tough times at the moment.
Well, you know what? I think Wally Buono hit it on the head at the beginning of the 3rd quarter when he said he thought that the timing was off. And by that, he means that Mark McLaughlin is rushing the kicks. He's not sitting there and just letting the mechanics go. He's basically just trying to get it through. You see, there's the pin, snap pulled back into the holder, and he's just not hitting the ball. It's all mechanics. He's thinking too much about what he wants to do instead of just letting the natural rhythm of kicking the field goal take place.
Ottawa stays a point up in this game, 13-12 in the final minute of the 3rd quarter, and a short gain for Josh Roddick.
Number 91,
and an injured Renegade. It looks like the center Carl Coulter feeling the effects. And there's also a Stampeder down on the field. So we'll take a break here in Calgary. Requiring assistance to get to the bench. Looks like the left knee has been hurt.
Well, we saw Platt Clayton, the athletic therapist, out there looking at the left knee and checking the stability of the joint. And you can see that just from the look of Willie Fells that it's causing him some discomfort.
You know, Chris, after the comments about Robert Drummond last year, he was on the bubble in Calgary, and he certainly played his way back into the good graces, and he's been outstanding this year. And that will bring Calgary native Chris Hoople into the game. 2nd and 7. Clements looks to the sidelines. Malcolm Johnson the catch, but he's short of a first down.
Caught by number 80, Malcolm Johnson.
We talked earlier, Chris, of Malcolm Johnson knowing where the first-yard markers were. This time he misjudged it, ran his out pattern 2 yards short of the first down. That's just inexperience. You want to make sure you get to the first down marker before you make your breaks. When the ball is thrown, you have an opportunity to keep the drive alive and get another first down for your offense.
So Harper comes on. A breeze at his back with 16, well, the clock running now. What could be the final play of the third quarter? High punt. Warren fielding it at his 18. Crossing the 25. And that is where the Stampeders will put the ball in play when we begin the fourth quarter as Fells tries to walk it off. Renegades with a 1-point lead.
What do women really want? Oh, the usual things. Jewelry, moisturizers, bags, diet, and most of all, being out there. If you're a woman with a passion to play, then call now. Your magazine has arrived. Sports Illustrated Women gives you what you really want. Ways to tone up and fuel up. Cool ways to look hot and get going. Find adventure, be inspired and empowered. And now this special offer. Call now and get a free preview issue. See for yourself how great a magazine Sports Illustrated Women is, absolutely risk-free. Don't miss your chance to get this special offer from Sports Illustrated Women. Call now for a free preview issue. Get Sports Illustrated Women. Live it.
How far can you go with a degree from University of Phoenix Online? Our graduates are GMs, VPs, and CEOs at major corporations. Attending classes via the internet, when and where they want, they received a state-of-the-industry education. And they earned their degree in just 2 to 3 years so they could start putting it to good use now. University of Phoenix Online, the intelligent way to attend class.
For more information, call 800-339-2694.
1 quarter to play, a 1-point Ottawa lead, courtesy of the 109-yard interception return for a touchdown by Gerald Vaughn.
Well, we talked about these things right here, the big turnovers. We had 3 in the first half by Ottawa, the big one by Calgary in the third quarter that led to the 109-yard return by Gerald Vaughn. The big thing, though, in the passing yards right here. This third quarter, Crandall, here's his passing yards, 0. You're going to have to start putting some numbers on to move that offense.
And on the turnovers, Calgary with just 3 points off the 3 Ottawa turnovers, and of course Vaughn providing 7 on the lone Calgary turnover. Anderson tossed out of bounds by Kelly Wiltshire as we join Mark.
Chris, the early diagnosis from Calgary trainer Pat Clayton is that Willie Fells has suffered a sprained left knee. He took a chop block, a cut block from behind on the knee, and so he'll be out indefinitely and under observation.
Of course, that type of block knocked Dave Thomas, the Renegade middle linebacker, out for the rest of the year. In a controversial play last week, Marcus Crandall sizing up 2nd and 6. How many series does he get with Ben Sankey waiting in the wings? Roundtree knocked the ball down, intended for Rob Johnson. This Renegade defense has been tough all day.
Well, they're doing it smart. They're playing smart defense right now. Troy Asbell, the middle linebacker, is out. There's John Grace. He's playing in the middle right now. But what they're doing, they're only rushing 3 defensive linemen. They're dropping 9 into coverage and forcing Crandall to throw the football. Now, you know, you're not getting a lot of pressure with 3 guys on the defensive line. This is what I said when Crandall, if there's nothing there, put the ball down and take off and run with the football.
O'Malley to punt, and Turner is back.
I'm
go.
And again, Archie Turner lets it bounce. That is 15. What a cutback. Great speed and a flag at the end of the play after Turner returned it to the 42, and they may tack 15 more on after the 25-yard return.
Well, when the flag is thrown right in the vicinity, you're at the feet of the ball carrier, that usually indicates that the defender or the
Major
tackler.
foul, face mask. Calgary number 36. First down.
Lawrence Deck charged with the face mask call.
Bad penalties, and they couldn't happen at a worse time. You're just giving instant field position to the Ottawa Renegades.
Tell you what, Archie Turner looked a little like John Avery the way he changed direction at top speed on that last punt return. And you add 15 and it takes the ball right to midfield.
Well, you talk about John Avery. He's having an outstanding campaign. I mean, absolutely electrifying foot speed.
Even in the loss last night, he was sensational. Clements dumps it off. And there's Jimmy Oliver as we rejoin Mark Lee.
Chris, we mentioned Ray Elgart and Roger Aldag going into the hall. They'll be joined by these men. Paul Bennett, a CFL All-Star in his rookie season in 77. Played with the Cats, Toronto, and Winnipeg. Was a CFL Outstanding Canadian in 83. Also Les Brown, the ball hawk, career spanning 11 seasons, establishing a CFL record for most interception return yards, which still stands. And we should also mention that Bob Ackles, the president and CEO of the BC Lions, will go in to the hall tonight as a builder.
Yes, again, our congratulations. A couple of former teammates of Chris Wolfe and Josh Ronick running over people and down to the 32. And well, Ronick, if he could erase 2 fumbles from his resume today, it'd be outstanding.
Well, he's 5'7", and when he lowers that shoulder, I guarantee he's not over a foot off the football. Look at it. Great vision, feet going, always turn those shoulder pads, and then he drops the shoulder. Look at that. Nice shoulder pad in the safety. Greg Frere right in the face mask. He's going to run right through you. That wrestling background that he had at South Dakota State really helping him carrying the football here today.
17 that time, averaging over 10 a carry so far today. This time they fake it to Ronick. Clements stands in, looks deep, and overthrows Malcolm Johnson, who was caught up on the play with Joe Barnes.
Malcolm Johnson incomplete.
Well, you're correct on that play or that analysis there, Chris. He basically tried to get around Joe Barnes, and Joe Barnes did a great job of not allowing him to come back to the inside. He kept him to the outside. So when Malcolm Johnson tries to come back inside, it's too late and the ball's overthrown. It's a nice job of position play by the defender, Joe Barnes.
Barnes moving inside from the quarterback spot with the return of Deshaun Austin. And it's 2nd and 10, 3 minutes into the 4th quarter. A little dump over the middle, Ronick. This time hauled down. Another flag is on the field as Ronick brought down after a 2-yard gain. And again, Melvin Bradley's been active inside for the Calgary defense today.
Well, Calgary only rushing 3 as well, but again, it's going to be Ottawa called for the offside.
Offside. Ottawa number 89. Decline. 3rd down.
This time it's Denny Montana. Penalty decline. Cue Lawrence Tynes.
I'll see what Lawrence Tynes has in his foot after missing the last one.
Mark?
Chris, I talked to Lawrence Tynes a few minutes ago. He told me that 59-yarder that was wiped out by the Calgary penalty was a personal record, and he's not grousing with the Ottawa call. He says, I'm hitting the ball well, even though I've missed 2 or 3.
Yes, 58-yarder in the NFL Europe, 59 here, and he nails this one. No mistake by Tynes, and it's a 4-point Ottawa lead here early in the 4th quarter at McMahon.
It's Aussie Rules time. All the action and reaction. We went from ordinary to worse. What a kick! Awesome goals and great grabs. Oh, what a fire! Only the best will do. So get up and cheer. Aussie Rules Highlight Show on Fox Sports World. Get your game. Every season has a story. Every game, a new chapter. A powerful and compelling story is on the rise as the world's greatest league gives it their all to get to the top of the chart. Watch the story unfold. The Barclaycard English Premier League this Sunday on Fox Sports World. The moment is now. The Barclaycard English Premier League. The ultimate angle, position, and perspective in the game of soccer. The Barclaycard English Premier League is now on Fox Sports World, your home of world-class soccer.
Back in Calgary, a reminder the CFL on CBC will stay in the West next Saturday. It's Saskatchewan at Edmonton to play the Eskimos at 3 Eastern. And a reminder that the road to the Grey Cup will stop in Edmonton this season. Still plenty of tickets available. And of course, after that 4th all-time record attendance last Friday of more than 61,000, they're hoping Hugh Campbell and company in Edmonton to do one better come Grey Cup. Chris.
Yeah, I wouldn't be waiting too long to get the tickets. Here's Crandall sprinting out and lunging for a first down, and it's quite a vote of confidence, I think, that Wally Buono is showing Crandall. The fans anxious, Ben Sankey waiting in the wings, the offense struggling, but Crandall getting a chance here in the 4th quarter.
Letting him work his way out. That's the biggest thing right now. You don't want to bring him in after a fuck. Keep him out there. Let him work his way out of this trouble right now, and he's doing what he should be doing. Stretching the defense by holding on to the football himself. Nothing there taken off. Just in a good old-fashioned option play. Fakes the pitch and keeps the ball for himself.
Got a first down. And here's Antonio Warren. He gets 5. You know, again, the Stampeders showing great respect for the leg of Lawrence Tynes after the field goal. They took the ball at the 35 instead of receiving a kickoff, and you've got a guy like Antonio Warren, such a threat on kickoffs, and yet they don't want to take any chances with Tynes' leg.
Well, I also believe the old philosophy, though, that give your offense as many opportunities to have the football. And that means giving your offense the ball right now. Forget about returning it, even though you got Antonio Warren there. Just give your offense the ball and let's see what they can do with it.
2nd and 5 as we approach the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Here's Warren again.
Antonio Warren with the carry.
A couple of jukes, but unable to get to the first down stick. And Wally Buono might be tempted here, depending on the spot of the football. They're a yard and a half short. Going to get a measurement to take a better look.
Nice job. Nice Duke move there, right there. Just coming back inside. Wants to go behind the right side. It's all stuffed up. Comes back to the middle behind Jay McNeil and Crysdale. Struggling to pick up that first down. Unfortunately, coming up a little short.
Yes, and Wally is in no gambling mood. He made a quick decision there.
Well, I think it's right now. I mean, it's only 16-12. I mean, pin him back. Change the field position right now. Put Ottawa in a hole.
Archie Turner's let a couple hit the turf here.
That's it, let him go.
See what he does with this one from his 3. Gets a block, and look out, and now a flag comes down as Turner steps up to the 30, 53-yard O'Mani punt. 27 on the return, however, a flag to push it back against Ottawa.
What if you could earn your bachelor's or master's degree from a leading accredited university while you're at home? At University of Phoenix Online, you can earn your degree when and where you want via the internet. You'll learn from instructors who hold high-level positions in their fields, so they can provide valuable insight. You'll learn with other successful professionals, sharing experiences and exploring new ideas. You'll have access to an extensive online research library and you'll earn a state-of-the-industry degree in business, technology, education, or nursing. Best of all, you can complete your degree in about 2 or 3 years, so you can start applying it to your career success. University of Phoenix Online, the intelligent way to attend class. Financing available.
For more information, call 800-339-2694.
You know, you may not be able to afford to drive a Porsche Boxster, but you can still drive the coolest car in town with this stuff right here, RET 2000. The technology in this can has the ability to make your air conditioner unit in your car cool it so it feels, so nice and crisp inside. Pick up the phone and call and order a can now. Here's how.
To order your RET 2000, call 1-888-625-9931. Call today or visit us on the web at coolestcar.com.
In front by 4 in the fourth quarter. Sunday night, CBC News presents an encore presentation of Peter Mansbridge's documentary Untold Stories, Canada. On September 11, it chronicles the Canadian government's response in the hours and days following the terrorist attacks. Chris?
There's the incomplete pass from Chuck Clements on 1st and 10 deep with the heat turned up on the young Ottawa quarterback.
And a nice job by Antoine Young, staying to the outside, not going inside with the play action, forcing Chuck Clements to roll out and throw that football away. See the signals coming from offensive coordinator Doug Nesmeyer.
Speaking of offensive coordinators, George Cortez has done it again. University Cal Berkeley, 1 win last year. They're 3-0 after upsetting 15th ranked Michigan State today. Here's Clements unloading, and Nigel Williams, another drop. A pass delivered near his ankles, but it's a quick 2-and-out deep in the Renegades into the field.
Well, I think he does a nice job, Chuck Clements does, of avoiding the pressure, but then he finishes it off with a poor throw. I mean, you got to put this ball up where the receiver can catch it and make something with it after he catches the football. Basically, he tries to sidearm this football, puts it low, puts it at the feet or the shoelaces of Nigel Williams, who can't come up with the catch. Let your man get his confidence back, get the ball to him where he can catch the football, and hopefully the big man, Nigel Williams, all 6'4", 207 pounds, can make something out of it.
So Glenn Harper needs a big kick with pressure on. Not deep. Bouncing near the 35, and a flag down as Don Blair tries to tack on some yardage and gets roughed up out of bounds. 27 yards, the punt by Harper.
Well, 27 yards by Harper. They're very, very lucky, the Renegades are, about not getting a rough play call.
After a 28-yard kick.
So Calgary already in scoring range for Marcus Crandall, and 8:21 left on the clock.
Well, they're 4 points down, and you know the man is going through. Right now, you got...
No yards. Ottawa number 30. First down.
Another look.
What do NMAX and the Calgary Stampeders have in common? They've both been providing Calgarians with electricity
as
for
they encroached on that
NMAX, the official electricity supplier for the
5-yard restraining area. Randall to Kamau Peterson. And he's wrapped up, drops the ball. John Grace has it. Calgary has turned it over again, and John Grace has vacuumed up another loose football. That's his 4th fumble recovery of the year. Another mistake for the defending Grey Cup champs.
You could win an all-expense-paid trip to beautiful Costa Rica. Watch Mark Lawrence Against the Spread every week to find out how you could be a winner.
I've always loved working on computers, and in the Army, that's what I do. I set up networks, I troubleshoot, I basically do things I would have never dreamed I'd been able to do before.
If you never thought about the U.S. Army or Army Reserve, think about this. There are 212 ways for you to become a soldier and work at a job you'll love. Call for this free video to find out which job is right for you.
I'd never really thought of the Army as a choice.
Your free video will also give you an idea of what Army life is like, how you can earn money for college, even what questions to ask your recruiter.
I'm going to walk away with a lot of memories, a lot of friends, and something that's going to change me for the rest of my life.
Call 1-800-645-ARMY right now, and you'll also receive a free Army t-shirt. Discover the 212 ways you can be an Army of one.
If you would ask me a year ago if I'd be here doing this, I could have never imagined it. I love what I do. I love doing it for the Army.
Another big weekend on Fox Sports World starts off with the German Bundesliga. That's followed by CFL playoff action and United Soccer League playoffs. On Sunday, more Bundesliga play is followed by the English Premier League as Man City takes on Blackburn, and it all wraps up with River Plate taking on Tyres. For more information, log on to foxsportsworld.com.
Get your head on straight, relax, play with some intensity, and just do what you're supposed to do. Don't think about what's happened. Let's move ahead from now.
Great audio from the bench. Jacques Chapdelaine just conducted a meeting after the fumble by Kamal Peterson. That's given Ottawa the football back at their own 34. Clements flushed out, dumps it off Ronick across the 40, knocked out around the 42-yard line, and a former Stampeder. There he is. Clinton Wayne was the man who created that last fumble.
There it is, baby. He's going to do a little hitch pass, throw it short, get him come back behind the blockers. Kamal Peterson with the catch. But look at number 90 coming into your screen. There he is. He's going to get the hands, wraps it up, and rips the football out. And as you say, John, and I hate to use that term again, amazing grace with the recovery, his fourth of the football season.
What a find he is, the third-year linebacker. 9. The pickup for Ronick, 2nd and 1. Ronick the ball, big hole, right side, and he crashes for a first down close to midfield.
What's happening right now is you're starting to see a dejected Stampeder defense. They're still fighting. They're still fighting. That's an absolutely wonderful block right there, kicking it in right there, allowing Ronick to get to the outside. Boy, when your offensive line at that time, Chris Burns, can seal the defensive end to the inside, your back is going to be taking you out for the steak dinner after every game.
Notice that Otis Floyd back in the game. And here is Archie Turner, a cut back, and Floyd wraps him up. Short gain, clock running, 6:36 to go. There's Jim Daly, a former defensive line coach of the Ottawa Rough Riders. And remember, he left that team when he refused to play Demetrius Maxey. He felt LeBryant Robinson had won the job. Maxey was given the job for marketing purposes. Jim Daly said, that's just not right, and that's not the way I want to be involved with a football team.
Yeah, I know, and I think that the guy, I believe it also happened with Dexter Manley as well. I mean, that's who I think. Yeah.
LeBryant Robinson was the guy who earned the job, and Manley was given the job. Here's Clements looking deep, and he's got Jimmy Oliver down inside the 15. The biggest pass play of the game as Chuck Clements goes up top.
And a beautiful job of concentration by the receiver. A little shake and bake. Gets to the outside. Holds on and catches the ball over the left shoulder. Nice job of getting away. And a nice throw by Chuck Clements, putting away only Jimmy Oliver could come up with that catch. And as you say, a big, huge play with 5:28 and ticking left in this football game.
Just realized I said Demetrius Maxey. I don't know where that came from. Sorry, Demetrius.
No,
Dexter Manley.
Demetrius Maxey can play anywhere he wants.
Yes, he can. Jim Daly will take him.
Absolutely.
Ottawa threatening. They've been down in this neck of the woods before. 1st and 10 from the 12. And that shovel pass this time, Darren Joseph Gets it to the 6.
Now that is great imagination on your offense. You know the defense is going to be thinking that it's coming to Ronick. They've been running the shovel pass to Ronick. What do? They slide Ronick to the left, and they pitch it this time. There it is, great play action, and now they shovel pass to the fullback, Darren Joseph, who that's his first carry of the football season, even though they'll probably call it a pass because it's a shovel pass. He doesn't get to touch the ball often.
Joseph checks out now. Nora in 2nd and 4. They got to hurry up, and they just get the play off. Here's the rush. Clements dumps it. Ronick inside the 5 and wrestled out. That's a big defensive play. Ronick looked like he had an angle, and Floyd cut him off.
Well, I'll tell you what, the offensive line is having a little talk right now because first off, Marvin Bradley, he gets in there way too early. Chuck Clements, nice job. He doesn't get a chance to even set up. Look, there's 2 guys coming in there. He does a nice job of avoiding the pressure and throwing it over the arms of Antoine Young out to Ronick. Ronick goes out there, but Otis Floyd does not allow him to get to the goal line.
Ronick does, however, pick up a first down, and it's 1st and goal from just outside the 1. Just over 4 minutes to go, and the Renegades trying to take a stranglehold. Option play, toss, Ronick, touchdown, Ottawa! His 2nd touchdown in as many weeks, and it gets very quiet at McMahon Stadium.
Well, they bring in the big double tight ends, Gochan, Lafarelle, put them on the outside, and they just run a little option. See who's got to take them. Force the defensive lineman to take the quarterback, pitch it out to Ronick. He does a little bit of an acrobatic spin, flip, if you would, into the end zone. As you say, for once, Ottawa is putting some finishing touches on their drives.
Tynes trying to put a finishing touch on the scoring play with the convert. And it is now an 11-point lead for the Renegades. 3:39 left on the clock. Well, that afternoon for Josh Ronick, 95 yards rushing, 173 yards for scrimmage.
A little option. All they're going to do is try and get him. He gets around it, but he's got to take the quarterback. As a result, he pitches it to Ronick. And number 11, Bray, has got to make the play. Doesn't get there in time. Ronick dives in. Touchdown, Ottawa. And as you say, a big lead with 3:39 left in the football game.
There's a delighted offensive coordinator, Doug Nussmeier. And 2 touchdowns off 2 Calgary turnovers in this game, and that's a huge difference. The Grey Cup champions are in serious difficulty on home turf here this afternoon. Antonio Warren with an inspired return up to the 44 as we join Mark Lee.
Chris, a dilemma here on the Stampeder bench. Willie Fells just collapsed moments ago behind the bench. We were having a chat about the status of his injured left knee. He said it was a chop block from behind, and then all of a sudden he went down in a heap of pain, and now being addressed by Pat Clayton and the rest of the Calgary medical staff. So it doesn't look good for Willie Fells.
Now it's quarterback.
And another breaking story. Ben Sankey is in relief of Marcus Crandall. Cheers from the crowd. And 3:15 left for Sankey to provide a miracle. Anderson up to the 50. He has a limited short list. Jacques Chapdelaine telling us before the game, Sankey was asked earlier this week his top 10 plays from last year, and they have devised a shortened playbook for him, and we'll see how he executes it when we return for the final 3 minutes at McMahon.
Today's lucky 50-50.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
Pet Meds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-888-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online.
Attention, all Americans with no health insurance or with high deductibles. You are now guaranteed affordable health care through a new medical discount program, the People's Health Plan. This valuable program is not insurance, and it's revolutionizing the way Americans pay for their health care. With the People's Health Plan, you save up to 40% or more on doctor visits and up to 27% or more for hospital stays, with no referrals, no claim forms, and no pre-existing conditions. Use the People's Health Plan at over 350,000 doctors' offices and hospitals nationwide. For just $10.95 a month, it covers your whole household with no limits on use. Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. All Americans have the right to affordable health care. Get it now with the new People's Health Plan Medical Discount Program.
Call 1-800-592-5577 for free information on the People's Health Plan. 1-800-592-5577.
A few minutes ago, we heard that speech from Jacques Champdelin to his offense, but the situation has changed dramatically. Offense never got back on the field until the Renegades had added 7 points to their lead, and now it's up to Ben Sankey. And Chris, I mentioned earlier in the first half, since opening day, only 3 points for Calgary in the last 3 minutes of all their games this year, and they need 11 here in the final 3 minutes to move back into a tie.
Well, you know what, a lot of time people say statistics, they don't really mean anything, but that statistic that actually has some bearing on this football game. Calgary has got to change that stat. They've got to start scoring. I mean, if you can't score at the last 3 minutes of the half or last 3 minutes of the game, you're not going to win many football games when it comes crunch time, and it's crunch time right now.
Ben Sankey, 6 starts last year. Remember, he won the starter's job in training camp ahead of Marcus Crandall last year, and then got hurt on opening day. 3 receivers right side. Has some time, guns it, and it's picked off. Alfonso Roundtree intercepts Sankey, and look out, Roundtree can go a long way. Inside the 30 and cut off at the 25. And that's the danger in making a change and going to a guy with less than a week of time to prepare.
Well, they go with the double tight end to try and give Sankey a little bit more time to view the downfield where he wants to throw the football. Reginbald's in there. They got the backside covered. Sits back there, throws it in. But again, one of those throws is thrown straight on a rope, and that allows the defender, in this case, Alfonso Roundtree, to cut in front of the receiver. When you're throwing the ball deep, you got to get a little arc on that football so it falls anywhere, at least ahead of the receiver, to give your receiver a chance to catch that football. You can't put it on a rope in those situations. Not with the defender closest to the quarterback.
4th pick of the year for Roundtree. Here's Josh Ronick looking for a 100-yard day. He will be close as he gets to the 20. 5 yards there, and that should be his first 100-yard rushing day in the Canadian Football League. And the defending champs are in a tailspin that we haven't seen, well, in 14 years.
Well, you know, the thing that doesn't look good is if you look, you got 20 points, you got 11 points here, now they only got 12 today. Your offense has not put any points on the board, and I tell you what, it's a situation where as a team, you got to come together. There's 3 parts, special teams, defense, and offense. Right now, they're really struggling in all facets.
Pitch to Ronick. He's got 100 yards now, down inside the 5, and finally hauled to the turf at the 1. And the Ottawa Renegades are about to put away their first ever road victory.
Well, they're just going to run a little pitch to the left. Pull Val St. Germain, number 57, around the corner. You see him coming to your screen. Do a nice job. You really got to like the way this kid runs. I mentioned earlier he's got a wrestling background. What that does for a running back is give him a great sense of balance. He stays low to the ground, lowers that pad level, and it's really tough to get underneath him to bring him down.
He's about to apply the winning pin here. First and goal from the 2. They roll right. Clements cuts back, and he'll lose a yard. Jason Bray in on the stop. Under 90 seconds remaining, and I can almost see the Eric Tillman smile from here. As if you're going to win your first road game, this is quite a place to do it.
Well, nice job as we saw there. Ronick knocking Steve Anderson, the defensive end, out, allowing Chuck Clemens to kind of come back inside, but Jason Bray and the rest of the defenders on the Calgary Stampeder defense take him down, and he actually loses a couple yards.
Joe Paopao has talked about baby steps. Heartbreaking opener to Saskatchewan, and then those victories. Some tough times. Certainly the first 5 of those losses in a row last week, a game they should have won.
Basically, they controlled the game. I mean, they had 20 first downs last week. Toronto only had 10. They fell apart with 4 minutes left in a football game. And you can't, that's what they talk about, that old cliche, 60 minutes. Well, that one came back to haunt them last week, but it looks like the tides have turned this week.
Well, they could have gone either way after that loss last week, but Paopao said a great week of practices. Here's second and goal. Ronick inside, stopped at the 5, so they're unable to finish off this drive. Melvin Bradley again. He's been one of Calgary's best today, and it will force Tynes back onto the field.
I think one of the things I really liked when Joe Paopao was talking to us, he said, you know what, despite our record, we're a fairly tight family. He used the word family of players. Every week they have a chicken, and I'll use the term bubbly session. He says the guys hang around the locker room, you know, and that's a sign of a good team. They'll hang around. They're not in a rush to get home. They hang around with the players. They mingle. They fraternize. And that's what builds character. And that's what builds chemistry on your football team. And despite the record, he believes they have some good chemistry on the Renegade team.
Well, this isn't done yet. The clock running, minute 15 to go. And they're running the clock down and going to take the full 20 seconds, move it back 5 yards. But, you know, this is a team that has given up a lot of late points. In fact, coming into this game, outscored 98-17 in the second half. So Calgary at least stays within 2 converted touchdowns here.
And a nice job of managing the clock right here.
Number 18, still third down.
You're that close. You got a guy with that strong a leg. Yeah, use the clock. Take the, take the penalty. Push yourself 5 yards back. It just makes an easier angle to kick.
So the field goal attempt will now come straight on from the 22. 64 seconds remaining. And it now is a 14-point lead. Exactly 1 minute left on the clock. Mark?
Chris, as part of CBC Television's 50th anniversary of programming, the network is airing Dominion of the Air, produced by Mark Starowitz's award-winning team. This documentary looks at the remarkable story of the creators of Canada's national broadcasting system, Graham Spry and Alan Plant. That's Sunday night at 8:30 in Newfoundland on CBC Television.
These two teams will meet again next week. Wally Buono still stuck at 150 wins in what surely is his most trying season with these Calgary Stampeders. Sankey flushed out and racing for the sidelines. Keaton Cromartie helped him out.
Chris, one of the things you really got to like as we look at the points from turnovers, Ottawa 17 points, Calgary 3. You really got to be impressed with the team speed of this Ottawa defense. You know, the offense on Ottawa's had some struggles, but this defense has played pretty good all year, and boy, today they're just flying around that football.
Well, if they can hold on for 53 seconds, they win their 3rd of the year. They'll have 7 points. They'll move 1 back to Toronto and refuel spoiling at least their opportunity to make a run at the postseason in the late stages of this year. And this is a pretty stingy, tough defense to go up against. They're going to give a lot of teams trouble here.
Well, you know, they're really a gambling defense. And they're going to line up as many guys they can, and they're going to fool you with how many they're going to bring. Sometimes they'll bring everybody, sometimes they'll drop everybody, just bring 3. And it causes some confusion as you see the East standings. Ottawa with that 3rd win, 7 points. Toronto with a game tomorrow against Saskatchewan.
And Sankey hasn't really gone upfield here with the situation at the red alert stage, and Antonio Warren has a first down, but we're down to a half-minute remaining, and they're 2 touchdowns behind. And if this holds, Calgary remains 3 out of 4th place, with Saskatchewan ready to play the Argos tomorrow.
Well, you know, they're starting to put themselves on the ground right now, and the dirt is slowly being shoveled over them.
Boy, the Eskimos had the shovels out last week, and apparently the Renegades brought them today. Now Sankey going deep, looking downfield, jump ball, knocked away. Great coverage there, airtight provided by Vernon Mitchell, as Donnie Blair was streaking up the sidelines.
Well, nice job. He just got him one-on-one coverage. Sankey wants to go deep. A lot of air in that ball, but absolutely wonderful coverage by Vernon Mitchell, who got burned earlier in the game by Travis Moore. And, you know, ever since we saw Gerald Vaughn in the hip pocket pick off that big interception by intended for Travis Moore, they really haven't gone back to Travis Moore much in the second half.
No catches for Moore in the second half. 2nd and 10, Sankey. Short to Warren, and a punishing hit from Gerald Vaughn, just to provide an exclamation mark on his afternoon.
Well, Ottawa, the defense of Ottawa has put together their own little highlight film of the hit parade. They have laid some pops on the receivers of the Stampeders.
Next Sunday, it will be the return engagement. And if Calgary wasn't sure what they were up against today, they'll be certain for next week. There's Kamal Peterson tossed down at the 22. Time is out. The defending Grey Cup champions have lost their 5th straight game, and the Ottawa Renegades, the expansion team, have won for the first time away from home, and Joe Paupau's club has snapped a 6-game losing skid.
I'll get later when they're inside.
Looks like a little emotion from the coach as he posts the victory, and we join Mark.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Here's Josh Ronick of the Renegades with his first 100-yard game rushing in the CFL. Another touchdown, just 2nd of the year, but more importantly, breaking a 6-game losing streak. How does that feel?
Man, it feels great. It's like a huge weight lifted off our shoulders. The whole team it was a team effort, you know, with the defense coming up big. Gerald Vaughn with the interception. Roundtree had a couple interceptions, and the offense finishing it off, putting it in the end zone and sealing the deal.
Josh, you showed a lot of resilience after putting the ball down twice in the first half. How about the confidence your coach showed in you?
Man, that's great. You know, all day or all week we talk about belief in each other, and you know, it makes me feel good for a coach to see me in adversity, and then to keep faith and keep giving me the ball.
Josh, good for you. Keep it going.
Thank you very much.
Josh Ronick and the Renegades winning in Calgary.